There's a new character that came out, and this is when true underdog can, shine and talk about it while I try to kill this freaking mosquito.
We talking about Ghostface?
Yes. Go ahead now, dog. It's your time to show.
Yeah, so, in terms of gameplay, he's actually...
Just go ahead.
3, 2, 1. Scary movies like Do You? What's up? Did you didn't expect that mix-up now, did you? But yeah.
Oh, it's the unblockable.
I can't believe Yoda was Ghostface the whole time.
Scary movies like Do You. Welcome everybody to the latest episode of Kombat Kings. We are joined here with a very special guest. Shredder for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Welcome, Shredder. Hey, don't shred us, please.
A very special guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, take off the mask and it's just me.
Wait, you're Shredder or you're Ghostface? What's going on here?
I don't know.
Both. ¿Por qué no los dos?
Kind of nice to be back. I haven't recorded anything and done anything in quite a long time, so really cool to be back talking about this stuff.
Sweet. I believe all three of us have all been featured and interviewed on your channel a year ago, I believe.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Before
Yeah,
Mortal
all
Kombat
three of
came
you
out.
individually for 3 different episodes have been on my channel.
Yes.
So.
Those are really fun times. I
Yeah.
enjoyed chatting about Reptile and Asha with you that day.
Yeah.
We're like the Infinity Stones. We finally collected all of them and put them in one spot. One podcast. So what's the reason behind less video uploads? Just really busy, or is it just hard to find motivation?
Yeah.
We know that burnout's a very real thing for YouTubers.
It was a bit of both. So I stopped because I got not necessarily busy. I'm ADHD as all hell. So it's if I'm not super interested, I'm just not going to do it. So I was going pretty hard for a year and then I don't know, I just not necessarily lost motivation. It was just too much going on at one time. And on top of that is I will record something and edit it and get it done in that night, and it usually takes about 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. It got
Oh my.
It got less and less, over time, to where it got it down to 4 hours or something like that. But yeah, that's about what it got down to. And then after that, I was I'm going to take a little bit of a break for a while, kind of, just get everything all set. And then I got a job, which I was working oftentimes 5 to 7 days, 60 hours a week. They're usually 10 to 12 hour shifts. So, yeah. So after that, it's
crazy.
Yeah, I can't do anything
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Understandable. Tronerdog used to be a teacher, and he did YouTube, so I feel like he could relate on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for some reason, I was somehow more productive back then. I think just because getting up earlier was better for me. Now I get up late, and by the time I'm done with the video, the day's already mostly done, and I'm like, okay. Whereas at least with when I had a day job, you get home from your day job, and the day's only half over. So you're kind of oh, I still have 6 hours to make a video before it's bedtime. But yeah, burnout is very real.
Lazy.
You were teaching media, right? Or you were doing video editing and yeah.
Yeah, animation, tech stuff, web programming, yeah, all the nerd stuff. Graphic design was also very fun. Yeah. It was good classes. I was not teaching core classes. If I was teaching math, science, and history, I would have been dead. You can't teach that and then have a really successful side hustle. It's not a thing. Yeah, it's too stressful, especially where I was teaching.
I also did remember, you said, I think on your Twitter, Shred, that, literally, a year ago, you kind of have also lost interest in Mortal Kombat 1. You also just kind of moved on to, Tekken and stuff.
Relatable.
Yeah.
You traitor. You filthy traitor. No, I'm kidding. Tekken's really fun. I played Tekken a lot. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was so when I first created the channel, it was mainly to be specifically a then Project L, now 2XKO channel. And so if you look at my very, very first content, it was all about that, because not only have I been into fighting games all my life, but I've also been playing League of Legends since season 1. So, I downloaded it. My first download was in 2009, like late 2009. So I even have a date.
The crunchy models, like the really old models in League of Legends.
Yeah. So, I was like, oh, this is perfect. But as it went on, I actually wanted to do more. So like, I didn't want to just do Mortal Kombat. At the time, I was capitalizing on the Mortal Kombat content because, we were coming into it and, it was hyped and stuff like that. But I didn't want to just do Mortal Kombat. I wanted to do, pretty much like the big three. So MK, Street Fighter, and Tekken. And I was big on Tekken for a long time too, and also when 2XKO, as that came around. But as I said, I got super busy, so haven't really been doing that. But to answer your question, I was losing a lot of interest, and like I wasn't even thinking about it, which is weird.
Well, the cool thing is that game's gonna hopefully be coming out like next year. 2KXO.
Yeah, they said 2025
they already have
release date. It's probably gonna be late 2025.
Late 2025. Dang, man, that's gonna be a long while still. I'm excited for it. They just revealed Jinx, who's like a mix of League of Legends and the Arcane version, which is cool as far as costume design.
She
I'm
looks
still waiting
a
for
lot
Vi.
more League of Legends design. She looks a lot more like League of Legends than she does Arcane.
Yeah, also
face wise, but her outfit I think is more like, 'cause she wears a bikini in the League of Legends version, right?
Yeah, she's like a Harley inspired
Yeah.
character.
And here she's got like the one top and stuff. But her face and attitude are way more League of Legends, of course. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
They can't go for the likable
Arcane costumes along the way, I'm sure.
Oh, probably definitely.
Yeah.
They're starting
Vi?
League of Legends right now with the Arcane costumes. Oh, did you say where's Vi? That's a really
where's
good
Vi?
point.
Where's the
She
Vi
seems
trailer?
perfect.
Like they should have totally given us the Vi trailer, like with season 2 would have been awesome.
There's 169 characters. I mean, yeah, they're
Exactly.
definitely gonna do the Arcane. I mean, you can guarantee that Jace, Victor, Vi, who else is gonna be in there? Ambessa,
Warwick.
Mel. You can. I mean, they just released Ambessa. Or am I saying that right?
In League of Legends.
Yeah, they just
Bessa.
released her. Yeah, they just released her, and
Oh wow.
I haven't seen Mel yet. But dude, Mel would be a dope champion to have in there. I think she'd.
Well, they've already announced Mel is going to be a champion.
Okay, good.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
I didn't see that announcement, but that'd be super cool if she was in there.
See, as someone who did not play League of Legends very much at all, I was not aware on which characters are originals on the show and which characters are League of Legends characters. And I kind of just assumed they were all going to be existing characters. So now I'm learning for the first time there actually are some characters only in Arcane that are now coming to League of Legends, which is cool. I didn't know about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, Mel and Ambessa are not original characters, but it's great that they're putting them in, which I'm glad. And they're great characters. Don't get me wrong; they're actually really good characters. I was actually surprised that, for one, I was surprised that they put in like non-original characters in there, considering how many characters are in the game. But and the other thing, okay, Sonic, answer me, because you play League, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so riddle me this: was that Warwick or no? Was that supposed to be?
Yes, that was.
I think so.
I mean, do you want?
Yes,
that is supposed to be okay. Without spoiling story-related things, but essentially, this is Warwick's origin story. This is what he is before he becomes Warwick. And as a Warwick fan, because he was like one of my most played champion back in the day, like I was like, what the frick? Where's my Warwick? Like that's just spoilers. But basically, the dev later on. Yeah, but basically the dev later on,
right?
like. Well, I'm afraid Snake hasn't seen it. That's why I'm going to be careful.
I've not seen season 2 yet. I've heard about.
That's what I mean.
I've heard about that one scene people really liked, with the two characters doing the thing. I've heard about that.
Of course, that's the thing you see.
I was like, oh yes, Netflix also did Castlevania. Makes perfect sense.
Is that the scene that's definitely not going to be shown in certain countries? I bet.
Have you seen the censored version? It's
Has
amazing.
been confirmed.
Where
Some
they just
countries
like green
don't get
screen
it.
them out of the entire shot.
It's like holy crap, the effort. But it's so funny. But anyways, even like the writers have stated like he's struggling between like his two sides essentially, and we are seeing more of the human side, and we haven't seen more of the wolf side essentially. So yes, that is Warwick, but like people want to see the other side more, you know. So that's,
and I don't think that's what because I'm sorry for Snake. You've seen season 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
Okay, yeah. In the end of season 1, it showed Singed working on something. So, like, I don't think that's... Yeah, so you saw a wolf thing. Did you catch it?
I didn't. I wish I did. Son of a...
I personally know nothing about League. The only character I'd heard of before...
But it is a
Arcane
very
was
central
announced was, like,
character,
Jinx.
so...
I think Jinx was the one I'd heard of before this.
She's basically
and
League's
that's it.
mascot,
Yeah.
so, you know, it's understandable.
More or
One
less.
of the mascots. I'm not saying
Yeah.
the, you know. I know Lux is
Listen.
probably the and Yasuo, but yeah, one of the mascots.
You're definitely an important character if you have your own music video dedicated to you. Like they made a whole music video for just your character.
Well, the first music video, I think, was actually Vi.
Oh, cool. I get to watch that.
She didn't get a music video, but she got a theme song, but not a music video.
I think she was the first theme song.
Oh, I mean a full dedicated like animated music video and all that. Like Vi has, it's called Jinx has Get Jinxed.
Yeah.
So I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she's not the mascot of like the fans maybe, but I think Sonic is saying from an outside view, like if you know League, like barely you know Jinx because like you just associate Jinx with League.
She's on a lot of the
like
cover
1,000%.
He's talking about me.
Yes. You know, I'm surprised, Snake, you haven't been getting right into season 2 yet, considering lots of muscle mommies in there.
I mean, I thought the first season was okay. I wasn't
like
blown away.
and Bessa.
I wasn't blown away like most people were, but I thought, yeah, it's all right. I'll get around to it eventually.
Yeah.
As an outside viewer, I'm wondering how many of those side characters that they definitely shove in your face. Even some of them don't have speaking lines, but the camera keeps showing them. I'm like, are these also League characters? Because the camera sure is sitting on them.
This sounds like the average fighting game movie. So I think the fighting game of
like there's the
League
fish
will be a
guy that
success.
gets a lot of screen time, who looks like Abe
That's
Sapien.
Completely new character. And
Really?
he is not a League of Legends guy.
Like the street, the street vendor guy or the street food cart guy.
No,
not that.
No,
not
he's one of the
chubby,
the
like, street vendor
Piltover
guy.
soldiers, and he's like the fish-looking dude, and he gets so much screen time.
He's like Echo's.
So I'm like,
Echo's friend.
No. You're
that's
talking
a
about
different
Scar.
guy.
You're talking about the bat guy. You're talking about that bat guy.
The bat guy has the fish guy has no speaking lines, but in season 2, the camera like there's at least 10 minutes of screen time just like staring at that guy.
Yeah, it's like he's
in
a new
season 2.
side character. Like they're building him up. Him with the other two enforcers, Loris and Maddie. But they really aren't that important in the grand scheme of things. I have to say I feel like it's more of a budget cut because I felt like they had more things, but yeah. Also, I have a feeling the fish guy doesn't talk because he's mute. Because he literally just doesn't talk, right?
Here's a fish.
That's my guess.
Maybe you gotta put his face in the water and then he can talk. Like he speaks like perfect.
Hey, come on.
He speaks
The
every
chef
language,
fish.
in fact, just only underwater. All right. So
he can only talk if he's underwater. Got it. Right on.
Just straight up an Aquaman side character.
Yeah, it's a cute quirk.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Give him a fishbowl.
But yeah, it's I saw this really funny YouTube short. I always forget this guy's name because I really like his content. Because I wish I could shout him out. But he did make one thing called like he talks to himself back and forth really fast, and he's like, oh, I really like Arcane. Should I play League of Legends? He's like, no, you should not. And he goes, but you do. He's like, but you played. Yeah, and I'm telling you should never play this game. And he's like, well, then how do you like the game? I love the game. Well, why do you like the game? Oh, because of the lore and this and that and all the different, side games and everything. But you don't like the main game. No, I love the main game. So should I play it? No, you should not play this game. That's like kind of how it goes. That's kind of how it goes. He goes, everything is awesome about League of Legends except for the main game.
Yeah, my main issue with the main game is that like the matches last so long. Like you just can't expect me to sit down for that long.
Yeah.
Like what if something comes up? Like what if I have to do something and I'm just stuck in a 40-minute long, like minimum, like long game?
Yes.
Like, that's
You can be
insanity.
lucky
100%.
and
no matter
in
you get
20 minutes.
And no wonder you get mad when you lose because you've been locked in for almost an hour. No wonder you're upset if you lose. Like, I would rage too. The cool thing about fighting games is that when you lose, it's like at most 3 minutes went by. If all 3 rounds ended in timeout, like 3 minutes went by, you know?
That's very true.
So like worst case scenario, the games are very short. So if you lose, you can still get salty, but I see it's way understandable to get mad at a League of Legends loss. And for me also, the second hurdle was there's way too much to learn. Like that shop is my biggest enemy. I don't mind playing the game and learning the characters and the matchups. I hate that shop. That's the dumbest thing to me. I don't like the shop. I don't like it.
Just for new players, just buy the recommended items and have a good day. You can, if you want to look them up later on, your shops, your masteries, your ruins, like what to bring, all that kind of crap. Just take the auto pick stuff because that's so complicated. And they change it every season, so it's like you have to stay updated if you want to be in the meta. They change it every
dude. You want to talk about patching? They patch the game and change the game every 2 weeks. Like every 2 to 4 weeks, they do some sort of update. But then again, like I said, there's 169 characters and thousands of items, or hundreds of items. So it's like, they're gonna patch the game. They're gonna, change a lot of things. And it's like, how did you come to think of it? Like the game came out in 2009. Like how does a game stay that relevant for 15 years? And it's the same game, by the way. It's destroy the base. It's destroy the opponent's base.
It's Dota
2. So, I mean, how does a game that's the same game on the same map stay relevant? And by the way, if you play the game, most of the characters that people use are like season 1 through 3 characters. Like, whenever you go into a match, there's so many characters from season 1 through 3. So it's like, how does the game stay relevant? Well, it's because they keep making updates, keep making skins, making changing items, it's the game is constantly changing and not changing at the same time.
I've heard a lot of the changes sometimes too aren't even to balance the game. It's just to quite literally keep it interesting. Like they're mixing stuff up. Like, oh, this is a new thing. Like adapt to this, which is why it's so funny to watch people who like stream the game and take it super seriously. Like Tyler won, and he's like, "Why did they fuck my character?" And like they just like ruined his DPS or something. He gets super mad, or like they ruined his ult and he gets super mad, or like his most hated character gets buffed for no reason. He's like, "Why did they give them that?" He's like getting so mad.
As an Overwatch player, I relate to that. Holy shit.
Dude, we all gotta play Marvel Rivals then, so we can all experience that joy again of week one Overwatch,
Reinhardt,
but with Marvel.
Except that they keep, he gets all these great skins. He's got Arthas, All Might, Optimus Prime, but then they just ruin him every update. He's always getting nerfs. Then Malgo over here can do everything. He just doesn't die. He's just constantly getting health back, and they just keep debuffing him. And it's like whoever at the studio just mains him and is insisting on this needs to be fired so that real normal people can make the decisions. And hopefully Marvel Rivals won't end up like that. I don't want them to be like, oh, now we're adding Spectrum and now she's going to be super powerful and no one's going to be able to kill her. Whereas your favourite character, Spider-Man, dies instantly.
Okay.
I saw they revealed
you
Black Widow
into Marvel Rivals. I kind of wanted to bring up a topic here.
Okay.
There was a funny thing. My friend told me about someone who tweeted. It's like Overwatch. You start playing, get sniped by Widow. Marvel Rivals, start playing, get sniped by Widow.
Yes, but people were saying in the comments that like Black Widow apparently looks scarier than Widowmaker because she can fire faster. And she has that kick move that knocks you back when you get close, so you can't even stick to her once you find her.
Yeah. She can defend herself. Widowmaker can't. If you go up to Widowmaker, she just starts to... But Black Widow can pull out her batons and start smacking you. Yeah. It's like, what? Yeah, basically.
Yeah, she's 100%
But the meme is like,
she has that meter burn
Black
wake
Widow
up to get close.
People were saying like, like, you know what, Marvel Rivals, I'm liking this game a lot more because there are no snipers. This is all just like a DPS, like mobility type game. Hawkeye comes out, but this guy seems like a balanced sniper. There's a lot of limitations and like things he has to do to balance himself. Then Black Widow comes out in her trailer and she just one shots like 5 heroes on screen, and I was like, oh no, oh no.
I guess the good thing is that we have really, really mobile tanks like Hulk and Venom, who might be able to just like smack her. You know, like
also,
actually run away
this game
constantly.
Isn't out yet, so who knows how busted or like problematic
My point
it is.
we all gotta play it.
I've seen Shroud, like one of the best FPS players try her out, he's not one-shotting people, but he is aiming very well and stuff. So it's like, you know, who knows how strong it's going to be until the game is out. So I think we should be, yeah.
You know, I was gonna
I'm
main
excited for
Venom
Rivals.
because that's my boy, right? Venom, one of my favorite like Marvel characters ever. But then I saw
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl. You know, so just day one
You're
main.
interested in
No, I'm
her.
kidding.
Thighs, save lives.
What?
Squirrel Girl in the game? Is that real?
Yes, she
Oh
just
my-
got announced recently.
Oh, you must
Recently they
understand,
announced a
Shrek.
lot of
People
more
are
They put
going nutty
way.
over her design.
Yes.
She is
Well, it's
very,
pretty much her comic design, but she's not
I gotta
ugly.
see this.
So that's good. Yeah, it's her comic
she's
design,
very,
but she's not
um,
ugly. She was made ugly
okay.
on purpose in a lot of the recent Squirrel Girl comics. And
Yeah.
Okay,
was
I'm not
disgusting.
I'm not saying this to like trying to be. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but like I saw like this one comment being like, when they saw the Squirrel Girl model, they're like, the Overwatch animators are going to transition here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm wondering how she got so thick off of an all nut diet. Like she was only eating nuts. How'd she get so thick?
Who cares? She's cute. That's all that matters.
She is cute.
Wait, what's the problem with her design?
No, there's
Nothing.
no problem with her design. We
It's
think it's
great.
great.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
don't
say
think
it looks
people-
awesome.
Yeah, the
That's
design is
that's-
good.
That's a dope ass
Yeah.
design.
I'm kind
Um,
of still hoping she has her classic, like her creepy original costume as like an alt, because that'd be funny. Like when she had the diamonds on her eyes and stuff and looked kind of weird in the old school comics.
I see.
But what was I gonna say? Also, damn it, I had a joke.
Shame.
It's gone. Damn it.
Like the wind. Cloak and Dagger
Yeah.
look really awesome too. I like when I saw them. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like what they do. and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I was gonna say, Shred. If you think that Squirrel Girl is a weird random choice, they have some characters that I had to Google in this game because like Marvel Comics is clearly like, hey, can you put these characters in? We need them to be more popular. Like, can you please like just put them in, please?
I saw, like, a
besides
different-
Squirrel Girl. Who else is in there?
I saw a
So-
different like approach to that because I've seen people say like they're adding the MCU characters that are much expected, like movie characters, but then they're adding obscure characters like Squirrel Girl and Cloak and Dagger, which is what I just brought up just then. They're putting who else is interesting here? It's Iron Fist, but it's the newer version. I don't know if that's an a more obscure one too.
Jeff the Land Shark. Who?
Jeff,
So
yeah, they're
Luna
adding
Snow.
Jeff too.
Luna Snow.
Luna Snow
Yes,
is like
Luna
one of the
Snow.
weirdest ones. Like almost nobody knows who that is. I had to
K-pop
remember who that was.
sensation
It is,
and whatnot.
Yeah.
it is nice when you get a Marvel game that's not just here's all the characters that are in the MCU.
Exactly, and so people are having more hope for this game, being like, "Oh, we might get more comic, like
Luna Snow? I've
popular
never heard
or
of that
more
character
obscure
till now.
characters."
Exactly.
Oh, that's
and stuff.
that's a dope looking character. That's cool.
Yeah,
Which
she looks
one?
great, and
Luna
she's fun.
Snow?
Luna Snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's actually kind of like, I don't want to say Lucio, but she does have an AoE heal, and she's pretty strong from what I've heard.
In fairness, a lot of these characters
then
are
you-
very Overwatch coded. Like you look at Hawkeye, some
Oh,
of his
yeah.
animations, like the way the camera moves, is exactly the same as Hanzo in Overwatch. Just
Well, yeah, people
flat out
compare him
the
to
same.
Hanzo, you know. I mean, they gave Black Widow a sniper rifle. When is that
Yes.
like her thing? Is that a thing
She's
she
an
does? Like
assassin.
she's well known for sniping people. Yes.
I feel like,
Depending on
I feel
not
like it
sniping, but she is
associates-
known in like the '90s for carrying a big freaking gun.
But
like
a lot
I feel
of
like
the
you would
time.
associate sniper rifles more with the Winter Soldier.
True.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
But they gave the Winter Soldier a cool fucking bionic commando arm that can
Oh,
do
yeah.
like anything
I-
now. Like it becomes tentacles sometimes. Like it becomes like tentacles and grabs things. Like it's so sick.
I'm looking very forward to playing as Bucky because of that ultimate can reset like
Let's go.
again, boom, again. It just keeps like, using that ulti.
He's bionic commando. But
Exactly.
yeah, Magic is also an interesting choice. They're trying to push her really hard in a lot of
Oh,
media
yeah.
lately, but Magic is also a barely known Marvel character. It's Magic, the last letter is a K, in typical Mortal Kombat fashion. She has like the human form and the demon form.
She looks fun though because
but-
she's melee. So,
Oh
like,
yeah,
seeing
she's
her
the
play
first
that.
melee character we saw, I think. So
Um,
no, Hulk
Yeah.
2, Hulk 2. Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool looking character too.
Magic looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
Those,
funny
I think, are the
because
two
her
least
first
known.
Magic's first ever comic appearance was that when Xavier went to recruit Colossus to the X-Men, because she's Colossus' younger sister, she was almost run over by like a farming equipment, and so Colossus leaps into action and goes metal to save her. She almost got killed by like a tractor in her first appearance.
How adorable. Actually,
I think she was
there's
dead for like
recently
20 years.
Oh, fair enough.
there have been some leaks, but like because it's literally somebody like accidentally because they're showing like the early beta footage because the game is about to come out, and there is there is one character that's like 100% this character would have been here anyways. So like they all would be. I don't know if I should say it without, or if I get problems. To be fair, by the time this episode's out, the game's gonna be out. So I think people are gonna know about this. So I don't know if you guys mind if I say
Go
it.
for it.
Mr. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, that makes
So
great.
the Fantastic Four,
Nice.
basically. Yeah. So I'm like, that sounds fun. Like I want to see all 4 of them, see what they do, basically.
Our viewers are very confused right now because we've gone like 30 minutes and not mentioned anything even remotely MK, except
Hey,
the
we're having fun.
joke at
We're
the very
having
start.
I wanted
No, I
to
will
say
say,
something,
though,
but
like-
this was such a good conversation, so I was just like, nah, just let it play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
this
could
is
always,
fun.
maybe we won't, maybe we will,
well-
but we sometimes do Mr. Snips and put it later in the video.
Do you guys know
Yeah.
Aaron Black and Shinnok and MKX in 11? Troy Baker voices them. He also plays Loki in Marvel Rivals.
Hell yeah.
Hey yo,
Yeah.
Laura
Can't
Bailey
spell-
is playing
Black Widow.
Black Widow, and she,
She always
also
plays Black
plays
Widow.
She also plays Supergirl and Injustice 2.
The
Fact
Spoderman.
of the week.
Is,
Nice.
The Spoderman is played by Yuri Lowenthal, who is of course Smoke, and also Adam, everyone's favorite Mortal Kombat character, Adam.
Adam.
He was also
yes,
Cobra.
Adam.
People are already
And Cobra. That's true. Yes.
people are already having the characters stand next to each other just to hear the unique dialogue they have with each other.
They're very
And
cute.
Spider-Man has some pretty cute ones, but I just wish that the writers would remember that Spider-Man's allowed to be rude, like in a funny way. Like he's supposed to roast people. Now he just makes like nerd jokes. He doesn't really roast people
Yeah.
anymore. And I'm like, it's
Spider-Man-
okay for Spider-Man to be a bit rude. That was like part of his charm. Kind of
Spider-Man
like
is
Sonic
like
the
Sonic.
Hedgehog.
Yeah, like
I
Sonic.
wouldn't say rude.
yeah,
He was just more of a
exactly.
smart ass.
He shouldn't just
Yeah.
be like just some. He shouldn't be a mascot. He
rude.
shouldn't be Mario. He should have personality. He should be the Luigi, the one who's allowed to have personality, without being like, oh no, it's going to tarnish the brand. Let Sonic and let Spider-Man just be dicks sometimes.
To be fair, I think that would be Iron Man then, right? He's the one who's a bit more of a dick sometimes.
Iron Man
Arrogant
is straight, like
whatnot.
arrogant, pompous.
Yeah, I think they kind of gave.
Yeah,
it
I'd
to
say
him
arrogant
then
is the more the
the
thing for
interactions.
Iron Man, yeah.
Andrew Kishino, the MK9 Sector, is playing Hawkeye.
Oh, sweet.
I mean,
Oh.
with Spider-Man, he was just always. I wouldn't even say like a show off. Just a picture like a teenager who actually can throw a punch, and that's what you think of with Spider-Man. You know, because he's supposed to be kind of a smart ass.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
by the
So
way,
if you watch the old Spider-Man 90s cartoon, he does like roast people. He actually has some like genuinely good insults, which I think is awesome. And that's why people even pointed out like the reason why Batman's villains just dislike him, but Spider-Man's villains hate him and want to kill him is because he takes their balls. Like he doesn't just beat them and arrest them. He makes fun of them the whole time. So he
Yeah.
took their masculinity and they're really butthurt about it. So they get
Yeah.
they get next level hatred for Spider-Man, which is why his villains try to actively kill him all the time.
you were talking about like the intros in the game. One of the ones that sparked like some funny things in the fandom was, do you know about the Venom and Scarlet Witch intro?
Yes, I think so. There is darkness
Well-
in you.
Well, long story short, basically Scarlet Witch is like I think Venom says something like that, and Scarlet's like, and is that a problem? And Venom is like, no, we like it. And then after that, it's like Venom x Scarlet Witch trended for like a week or two because of that. Yes.
19 inches
Somebody,
of
like-
Venom. No.
You see this very cute fan art of like Venom holding like flowers up the Scarlet Witch, and she's just like, and stuff like that. It's pretty cute. So yeah, that's one of the things.
I love
anyways-
Venom's design, except can someone please like just take
No.
his eyes and just scoot them a bit closer? The gap between his eyes really bothers me. I get they're going for like a more alien look, which is why they're further apart, but it makes them look a bit derpy.
You
in my
are
opinion.
To be fair,
You're doing
a lot of takes on Venom are very derpy, and that's sometimes the best versions of Venom. In the PS1 Spider-Man
I don't
game,
mind, yeah.
he was a complete bumbling imbecile, and he was great. I love him.
Oh yeah, I
I
don't
do
mind him
love
being
the
design of the
goofy.
Venom.
I just want him to be dumb.
I do
Yeah.
love the design of Venom.
Yeah, we just move it over slightly.
I'm looking at the Venom design right now, and I really what they need to do is just make his head slightly bigger. Because his
Well, I mean, in animation, I think it looks great though, like in game.
Yeah,
'cause
well, his
I'm-
head
I'm
is
looking
small
at
just
the
because they're
design
trying to show how
because I
big he
see
is,
what
I
you're
guess.
talking. It's
Yeah.
literally on the side of his head, but
Yeah.
I really just think his head is just a no. Maybe it's proportionate. It's just that is a strange design.
Yeah, it looks fine in
Yeah.
motion at least, and like watching him swing around is super cool. The fact that he's a tank that's really mobile is good. And at first I thought it was creative, and then people said, no, he's just a hamster from Overwatch. I'm like, oh yeah, He is.
Oh, come
He's like
on.
Wrecking Ball
There's
or
some
whatever.
differences,
Yeah.
okay? Don't just bring ham. I mean, yes, it's similar.
So,
Yeah.
funny fact about Venom, because I'm a big nerd, and I've always wondered about this myself. In the comics, sometimes when they show Venom like take the suit off, it's revealed that like the suit is much taller than Eddie Brock actually is. Eddie Brock is a big guy,
Yeah.
but he's not like 8 feet tall like Venom is. So when the head comes down to show, like whenever they want to show Eddie's face, his face is closer to like the collarbone area of Venom, and the head's just like cosmetic on Venom. And I've always wondered, what if that was intentional, so that if Venom ever gets hit in the head really hard, they just hit the suit and not Eddie? That'd be pretty smart, like pretty clever
That's an
misdirection.
interesting
That's not
way to
where his
put
head
it.
actually is. I've always kind of wondered that.
Yeah, I have heard like because there's a bit of a lore in the game currently that this version of like Eddie or this version of Venom is much more like combined as one. So it's a lot less like human and stuff, or something like that, basically.
Yeah, he does
Like,
say
they're much
we
more of a
though, which is a
combined
good hint
entity.
that it is Eddie. When I first saw that
he does
design,
bring
I
up
was
Eddie.
worried they're gonna.
Eddie is there
yeah,
though. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was worried for a split second because that design they chose with the spider wrapping around the top of his body like that was only in a more recent version of Venom that was not Eddie. It was like some gangster or whatever that was wearing it. And the only reason they even gave him the suit was to explain why the suit went from, who was Peter Parker's bully? Flash Thompson had
Flash
it before.
Thompson.
Which was great, by the way. It was a great series. And then they wanted to get it back on Eddie because the viewership died down. Like, we'll bring back the original Venom. So they wanted to get it to Eddie. So that guy was a middleman, that gangster pretty much. But he had a pretty cool looking Venom design where the suit actually wrapped around his body. Like the spider went over his shoulders and stuff, which was not a thing for Eddie. It just goes under his armpits normally. So I was worried that was that version of Venom, but then they said Eddie in one of the trailers. I was like, okay, good, it's Eddie.
That is the
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
that
nice.
the symbiote like abandons mid-swing, right? And he just plummets to his death.
That's the Gargan guy. This is even like more recent than that. But I know what you're talking
That's pretty
about.
cool.
No, it's
I think.
Gargan is Scorpion, and Scorpion wasn't abandoned to his death. Another mob
No, he
guy.
wasn't. But I'm saying it was before he got on Gargan, I think. Before he got on Gargan, it was on that guy you're talking about.
Ah.
This is... Oh, Agent Venom had it too. Good point. Yeah, Agent Venom had the over-the-shoulder. Okay.
Yeah, I just.
So
I just
apparently
looked
it's
it up.
not a very brand new design. It's just everyone thinks they're being creative when they do that.
But yeah, so I'm very excited for Marvel Rivals. It's coming out like 2 days from now, so I'll be playing the heck out of that when that happens.
I didn't know it was that soon.
Yes, I've been looking into a lot of the content, understanding the meta and how to play some of the characters. But regardless, we got to get back to our homework assignment. We got to
Do
get
we
back
have
to.
to?
You definitely should
That's actually-
timestamp, say like, hey, skip forward
yeah,
to
yeah,
this to
yeah.
talk about Mortal Kombat. Like,
I have timestamps every time in the videos and stuff.
Okay.
You don't need to worry about that. So basically, in Mortal Kombat recently, there's a new character that came out, and this is when true underdog can, shine and talk about it while I try to kill this freaking mosquito.
we talking about Ghostface?
Yes. Go ahead now, dog. It's your time to shine.
Yeah, so, I mean, in terms of gameplay, he's actually absurdly
just
good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick. I'll keep it very simple. Because some people's brains shut off because they want to talk about the fun, like the lore and the reception and all that stuff, not as much
Yeah,
the
I have
gameplay, so
I
I'll
have my
keep it
list
short
of
and
intro
simple.
dialogues I want to talk about.
Yeah, I'll keep it very short and sweet. So, the main strength of Ghostface, for one, is screen presence. He can summon that guy to smack you in the back of the head for no reason. He can command grab you from full screen. So he's always like a threat, even from far away. But his main strength on top of that is his absurd mix-up and reset game, because his back three, where he swipes you, restands. So he can do pretty much any combo, restand you with that, and he's plus 15. At that point, he can just force a command grab mix-up where you have to like literally jump away if you want to avoid it because you can't duck it. It's a mid. So like you have to literally jump or get hit if you're trying to jump and you guess wrong and he combos you anyway. Or instead he can cancel that back three and do his mix-up where he slices your gut and goes onto the crawl. And now he has the mix-up of like, am I going to low you or am I going to unblockable with the two, right? And it's just forced. It's guaranteed mix-up every single time. And he can loop into more mix-ups from that. And then he can restand you again with the back three because it's a brand new combo. So that's Ghostface's biggest strength right now, is that he's just always in your face mixing you once he gets close. It's crazy. And
Cool.
scary. I've been playing
Yes.
Ghostface without even using his Kira and Cobra gimmick. I haven't even been
Oh.
using it, which is a fun
I
gimmick,
see.
but like I haven't even been doing that, which also makes him really good because when he's Kira or Cobra, you can't combo him. It's really stupid. He just gets hit once and runs away. So he's essentially uncomboable for like 10 seconds. or 12. I forget how long he stays transformed.
That was an annoyance for me was when I was playing it, because like, oh, here's some brutalities and stuff, or combos you can only do with the specific version of him in. The game is not all that clear on how exactly you switch. You have to figure it out yourself. Once you do, it's like, okay, I've got it. Now I'm playing as the other one. Oh, okay, I'm playing Invasions, by the way, so I hit the opponent and they just armor through it, and then they hit me, and I'm like, oh, they've run away. So now I'm back to base Ghostface. I'm like,
I just want to do my brutality with Kia, man. That's a pretty cool brutality with Kia, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Kira. Kia and Kira are two separate characters.
Kia, sorry, that's Serena's sister. My bad.
Yeah, just think Death Note. Just think Kira. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sorry, I mistaken one obscure character with another obscure character. My bad.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Even with the lore, how it's changed with Ashura's ending, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next game they put Serena on the roster and give this gimmick to her, Kia, and Jataka.
Oh, even though I thought Kia and Jataka have died in the story mode, though. But I mean, you know, they can come back because it's hell.
Have they?
Yes, because remember Quan Chi was like, I have sent Kia and Jataka to you, Ashura. And now they have died, and it's all your fault, Quan Chi. And now we're gonna fight.
I mean,
she says that in chapter 6.
Come on. When they die, where are they gonna go?
To hell. That's what I mean.
Back to the Nether Realm.
Yeah. So he's just gonna go there and just bring them back and go, ah ha ha, I've got them again. So they can show up.
By the way, I've got to mention, lovely light setup there you got, Snake.
It's amazing.
It's so cool.
Yay.
So animated.
But don't let that distract you from the fact that Quan Chi has a harem. Like in Mortal Kombat 1, Quan Chi canonically has a harem.
What I was gonna say was also like, I noticed you're standing. Is it because of your new sponsored like table?
Yeah,
that got you to, like,
I'm at my standing
desk.
desk.
Nice.
Let's go. It's very healthy, you know.
I wish I had a
every
standing
30
desk.
minutes.
Does
Honestly,
it like
maybe I
hydraulically
should.
move up and down?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was in his recent video in his sponsorship.
Oh, I needed to watch it. Did you lay on it to raise it up and down? That's a fun gimmick. Oh, that's a fun one. You just lay on it.
What I did was I had it rise up, and at one point I was standing up, and then I superimpose an MKX X-ray of a spine exploding, as if like, back pain. No.
Yes. You brought up MK9 Jax despite the video being about a movie adaptation.
Awesome.
Jax.
That's good. That's good shit.
But yeah, Ghostface, I actually think, unironically, in Mortal Kombat 1 at least, might be one of the best in terms of like referenced, like well done character that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many fun things about this character, whether it be customizations or animations or even like.
There is a fatal flaw, which is recently they did the Race Against Time reward, where you could get Ghostface announcer voice.
You want to bring this up now, Snake?
I do.
Do you want
Ghostface announcer voice? Holy crap! Because they've been doing this a lot.
Let's transition into this pain that Snake has experienced recently.
Yeah, because they've been doing this a lot with the guest this time around. I guess people saying "you fucking imbeciles," where was the Shang Tsung announcer voice in MK11? Really made them think, "Oh god, oh god, oh fuck, oh god." We need to make sure we get the most out of these new celebrity voice actors. And so, you know, J.K. Simmons, I can accept that as an announcer. That sounds cool. And then it's like, supposedly, T1000 and Conan are going to get them too. And we get Ghostface.
Sounds fair.
And it's like, okay, Ghostface is a good one because the whole phoning up and like being this film buff, basically. So you can have all these references, not just in intros, but when he's announcing the characters. Like how cool would it be if every single character had some kind of horror movie reference? Like, you select Baraka and he goes Nosferatu or something like that. It's like referencing some horror movie. Mm-hmm. But then it's just smoke, Noob Saibot, Noob Saibot. The only actual characters when he goes Ghostface, like he's really trying to big himself up. Oh, Ghostface, sexy.
Yeah.
Whereas all the others it's just two inflections, and so a lot of people reckon it's AI.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
No.
I mean, because that's the thing.
I guess they realize that not every character can have the pun gimmick. I guess I don't know.
But that's the thing you have to consider is, we always see where the celebrity actor doesn't come back after a certain point. Ronda Rousey stopped partway through MK11. Jean-Claude Van Damme, for a while, the newer characters, he just skips the dialogue and goes right into fighting. Yeah. because they've not got new voice work for him, and that's going to happen with a bunch more of the guests as it goes on, because they can't get the actors
Surprisingly,
back.
Megan Fox is still around. She still voices every one of her lines. Like, good for you, girl.
So, but it's like,
stop.
You can
Please.
stop.
So it's like maybe they can get Roger Jackson back, because he does do voice acting primarily. So maybe they can get him back to do some more lines, and that could work. But
Yeah.
Can they get Robert Patrick back after they do an announcer voice? Can they get him back consistently? So I mean, what happens if there's an announcer voice and then they add like Jade, and he's not there to say Jade? Or more importantly, I guess, more likely is a new guest that they weren't sure they could get, so they've not got a voice line already done with him where he says that character's name, like, oh, Pinhead. Well, they didn't know they could get Pinhead at the time, so they don't have his name there with the T-1000. AI, I guess, with permission.
I actually forgot which game it was. I almost feel like it was an NRS game, but like, I forgot which one it was, but they just say a bunch of names, and it's like, whether they become characters or not, we don't know. But it's like, I remember something I found in the file was like they just say a bunch of names, and just in case for the announcer packs at least. I feel like they do something
I
like
remember that like very early on, where someone just found a
right?
list of names.
I feel like they would do that because that's easy for an announcer just to say that. Having a whole conversation like a what if, like if I don't know, some very obscure character from MK, like Onaga comes back. Oh, the Dragon King is back. Of course, that we don't know if he's gonna come back, so it's like you wouldn't get a character to say that. But I think it's fine to get a character to say Onaga for like an announcer pack and whatnot. And then if he does come back, then the intro dialogue would just be skipped. or they can pull something like for Jason and like some of the horror characters in MKX, where it's like the Predator will never speak, but the other person would just say something like "Bring it on," some sort of a default line like that. You know, like they could they could do something like that. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
But anyways, do you want to talk about your pain, or do you want to just talk about the announcer back just then?
Oh, yeah, it's just that the announcer, so the way you could get him in Race Against Time was through grinding the towers to be in the top 5% of all the players, which I go for those anyway, because they've been putting some of the Shaolin costumes in. Like the one for the next 2 weeks, it's the blue Shaolin Raiden outfit.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I've also been able to get base Shaolin Kenshi, blue Shaolin Johnny. So they're putting a lot of stuff there. It's also where the alternate palettes for... there's another one that was added recently. Well, there's some from Chaos Reigns.
Karima.
Yeah, the Kalima palettes is a new one for this fortnight. There was...
this time it's Tanya and...
Yeah, Tanya and Reiko's...
I forgot last time.
Chaos Reigns ones have got an alternate palettes there.
Yeah.
And so this is the top 5%. But you have to get about 1,000 points to get in the top 5% usually. So there were quite a few people when I posted all the announcer voice from Ghostface, people saying like, oh yeah, I grinded but only got to like 10%. And it's like, no. but then I think some of them saw the video and like, you know what? It's not a big loss. However,
was it really worth it?
It's currently in the store for 1,000 dragon crystals, and it's AIDS. Yep. It's so terrible. Holy shit! It's so bad. Like, I wouldn't put money down for it. It's horrendous.
How long did you grind for that, by the way, Snake? Because you just kept doing the seasonal towers, I'm assuming, right? That's the most points you can get, right?
Well, I've been doing that mostly, but I've also been doing some of the other ones. Occasionally, you get a challenge like, oh, do an easy tower, so I'll do that. Or because when I'm doing the seasonal towers, I'm playing as Liu Kang, because he's the one I've been pumping all the stats into. But if I need to play as, if it's like, oh, do 10 Ashra animalities, which is one it was, and it's like, yeah, the same animality, do it 10 times, not 10 animalities or 10 Ashra finishers. It's do this specifically. Like, it really just railroads you into doing very specific things. It's like, just say 10 finishers from this character and just let it count fatalities and animalities. Or just do 10 finishers, which includes cameo finishers and everything. No, it won't do that. Fuck you, game. But, yeah, so then I'll play as other characters, but mostly play as Liu Kang for those. So we'll do other towers occasionally. But I did manage to get into the top 5%. It wasn't difficult for me. I'm just that good. And then I got the Ghostface announcer voice.
Congratulations.
I'm like, oh, what is it with this game's weird announcer picks though? Because like they had John Cena, they had John Cena in, but they'd not got a John Cena Peacemaker announcer voice. But they have got Ghostface.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's probably a budget.
And they've got two of Bihan, Sub-Zero and Noob Saibot, and he barely sounds any different because it's the same character pre and post corruption. So what was the point?
Yeah.
Like,
Congrats,
some
dude.
make sense, like Sindel, Shang Tsung, General Shao. I think there's General Shao one. They make sense. And then like Liu Kang, Geras, I think they've got them. Oh, you got him.
Fatality.
Yeah, get fucked.
So
I wonder if you got to see the sparks. I think that would be awesome if you got to see the
I did.
sparks.
it's just weird picks. Like, where's the why is there no Scorpion one? Where's the Scorpion announcer? Where's why does Bihan get 2 of them? That's weird.
They're giving Sub-Zero more love, I guess. I don't know. Isn't that Trotter Dog would be happy. There's so much Sub-Zero love in this game, right, dog? You must love it, right?
I mean, I like Sub-Zero. I like Noob Saibot too. They're both very fun. Both extremely fun characters.
But yeah, like, congratulations. I feel like those 2 weeks of yours would be extremely tedious, just constantly grinding for this.
I mean, it's not even that difficult.
When
really.
I first tried doing that,
a bit.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not even like that tedious. I think you can pretty much get it if you do like 2 or 3 towers a day or something like that.
Did you? So, how high are you in the seasonal tower, by the way? What level are you?
In the 40s somewhere, maybe around 50.
Oh, that's a lot lower than I expected, actually. Considering.
Well, yeah, because I've got like we've still got like another couple months to get to the end.
I see. So you're planning on getting.
And when I did
what's at the end of the seasonal tower this time? Actually, I don't even know.
Well, the seasonal tower goes until the end of the season. So when the next season starts, when they go back to presumably the Natara season, then it will.
Yeah, but I mean, like every seasonal tower final reward is level 80, right? I'm not sure what this time it is actually.
I think the reward is another. I think it's a Raiden Shaolin palette or a Kung Lao one. I'm not sure. I think it's a Kung Lao one.
Another? Okay.
I've not actually checked.
Nice.
I don't think, but
you don't even know what you're working towards.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, because when I was doing the last season, I did have to put in quite a lot of grind towards the end, so I got a bit burnt out on it. So now I'm trying to piece it out more.
Okay.
Are you enjoying Towers of Time more than Invasions?
That's not a high bar to compare.
Well, I'm just curious. I'm genuinely asking for science because this could because people hate Invasions, and it's kind of like a proven fact that Mortal Kombat players do love the offline content, or I guess it's more accurate to say single player content because you can't play it offline, right? But players do like the single player stuff and modes. So I'm wondering if they prefer Towers of Time, like they prefer doing the grind for that kind of rewards instead of doing Invasions. I think Invasions is kind of fun now just because you can skip the ones you don't want to do and all that.
Have you played this season, dog?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get into the Invasion topic this quickly because I do feel like this season was like a giant step down compared to like previous seasons.
Well, duh, they're recycling.
Exactly. It's the same map. It's the same
Although
yes, you can skip.
But they have changed a lot of the stuff with it. All the updates that they've added over the seasons are in this. You do get to fight different opponents in each maze instead of just, it's the same 4 characters and over again. It's still the same stages, which I wish they'd at least mix up with here, you're going to go on the rainy version of the tea house this time, just to shake things up. That's one of the benefits of Towers of Time is it's all the stages, even ones that you barely play on. And
that is good.
This season you can now even fight the Chaos Reigns newcomers because Noobs, Sector, and Cyrex weren't in Invasions at all, or Towers of Time, but now they are. So you can fight them. So I saw the renders on the towers. I'm like, those characters are in the game. Forgot about
that. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I fought Takeda and whatnot. Yeah, but I don't know. Just replaying this entire season, because I did that just 2 days ago. I thought, okay, maybe I should catch up and maybe I can finish the season before I get on this podcast. And I'm just like, this is so miserable. I don't know. Just this replay of the exact same season, and it's I barely am getting any new palettes because it's a repeat anyways. So it's you're not getting too many new palettes. I've got 3. Here's a list of all the new palettes you get if you've already played through the first season. It's just a couple of new red ones, cute.
The Combat League.
You get the Natara skin, right?
You get that in the first Mesa.
You get 2 palettes of that, I think. There's another couple of costumes that get new palettes. And then the Combat League skins from the first season are also available now. So
is that the Baraka?
I knew that would happen eventually. I knew it.
So
I knew I was
wait,
right to not
I'm sorry,
freak out
so
in
the
Combat League.
So the Combat League skins are now available to get in Invasions?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think they have new ones this season, but the ones that were there for the original run of Season 1 are now available in Invasions.
So
You can
working
get them there.
hard online and hitting a rank
Yeah,
just doesn't mean anything.
It
'cause just
basically,
circles
No,
back
it basically gives you early access for wasting your time. Same
It
thing
gives
with
you early
Halo
access
11.
for a year at least, though. Yeah.
I feel bad for players,
I
but
did
also
that for
I'm
the
happy
Reptile
myself.
season.
Yeah, so I feel bad for the players, but I'm also happy at myself because I predicted this. I'm like, there's no way
You
they're not
did.
going to give us an easier way to get that in the future. So I'm just not going to freak out. I'm not going to rage online. I'm just going to have fun playing with my buddies, and I'll play Combat League when I feel like it. I'm not going to play it to grind and reach a certain rank because that is annoying. Yeah.
Well,
You
the,
did
the,
say-
the rank system in Combat League has always been garbage, but like that was my big gripe with MK11 too. Was I mean MK9 and MKX did not have any like rank system at all. They just had points and you just went up. I was like, it's kind of pointless, and stuff. It's
Like
what's
Smash.
It's like, what's the difference between ranked and casuals? Nothing. Just a number.
Yes.
But at least in MK11 and MK1, they at least have something that you can like move up on and continue to like grind and go up. But it's like to go up and do that, it was like you can get to Elder God fairly easily. And same thing with this one. And it's like, what's the point of even trying to get there if you're actually going for, costumes and palettes and whatnot? Because, it's just going to be invasions later. So what's even the point? So
Although
yeah.
Dog predicted this because they did this in MK11 too, right?
Yeah.
Like you're able to get those pallets eventually. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Not only that, but you can even get.
it circles back around. And this is the thing that I had a problem with it is because it would come back around with the seasons like later on because you get like, this is the Elder God skin or costume that you're gonna get.
the hardest skin.
The hardest
yes.
one.
Yeah.
And then like a couple months later, it's like the easiest one to get. It's like what's the point? Like, okay, like I just achieved this skin. I can, or costume. I can show off this costume. Sorry, I've been playing League of Legends, so it's skins. But costumes. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, so, it's like, what's the point of even like going after this costume? Because it's just going to be available for the, like, you play 5 games and then you're just going to get it later. What's the point?
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
I mean,
I'm happy for the people
that
who
is
just
all
wanna
true. I'm
collect
glad it's at
everything.
least free. Some games make you pay, so I guess at least it's free.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
I feel like it
Although
would've been
I have another
I feel
complaint
like it
since
might
we're
have been
talking
better
about costumes.
I think it would have been better to just put them in the shrine for like really high prices or something because the shrine has got nothing new this season. There's nothing they've added this season.
The shrine, yeah.
So
I wanna bring that up too,
The shrine is useless now. You're getting all these gold coins. It's still one of the big rewards for do 5 dailies. You get some gold coins. To spend on what? These coins have been basically worthless.
We're sitting on gold mines here. We're sitting on
They
actual
think
gold mines.
they
Get into
think
MK11
we're like
levels
not
where
playing the
MK11
game, so
like,
there's so
everyone
much
is-
in the shrine.
Everyone who ever played MK11 is on 9,999,999 coins because there's nothing to get. 'Cause at a certain point, even when there's stuff you've not got, the stuff in the crypt is just like, nah, you're not going to get anything for it. We're not going to give you any of the concept art you've not unlocked. And it's like, why? And now there's just
I don't
literally
understand,
nothing left to get.
Yeah. And the back
The gold coins are. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was gonna say because I like play competitively online. I don't like invasions. I didn't like the towers. The only time I ever played invasions or
Absolutely
the time,
based there.
is because I didn't like. And I'm the kind of person also. It's like I'll go for the costume or palette that I want, and I don't care about the other ones. I just want that one, and so I'll grind for that one, but I don't care about the other ones. I just want that one, and so
Exactly.
Even in MK11 with so I mean Katana, and the one actual costume and color that I wanted was actually fairly easy to get, in which I did and so I did I got it fairly easily, and after that I was like, I don't need to do this anymore, so I just go back to playing online, and so that's why I have like a huge problem with the rank system. Is because I was like, well, that's where I live. I don't care about invasions, so
Yeah. Did you ever actually play a season in Invasions? Like, did you try to go for the Scorpion skin or something?
the first two.
Yeah. That's how a lot of people I've heard say it too. They just played it like once or twice, and they're just like, I cannot do this another season. This is just so grindy and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the worst board game ever made. So it feels like Mario Party, except the mini games aren't fun.
They're just the same.
That's just my opinion, but in my opinion, I just felt like it wasn't very fun to do. Like I'll grind the crap out of MK Deception. I would grind that out like crazy, but it's like this. No, it just wasn't interesting to me.
The only fun thing they added to Invasions that like is actually hype is the new arcade beat 'em up mode, which is like Street Fighters beat up the car, but you're beating up the arcade cabinet and like the coins come out of it. Like that's actually fun. But outside of that, like, I mean, the ball breaker one's kind of fun too, but it's stressful because like you get that one block that you can't fucking hit, and you're like, come on.
What were you saying, Snake?
The arcade machine one is pretty good, except when the reward is gold coins.
It's random. You get either the crowns, the silver, or the gold coins. So it's like, let's go, baby. And I see gold coins popping up. I don't get. I have 170,000. It's like, what's the point?
Why
You're like, I have 999 million of these things. Like, why do I need more? It's like,
just have it that here's a shop. Put a collector shop or something somewhere in the mesas.
Let it be used for seasonal coins too, because you can buy the brutalities now with that.
Let me just go.
That's limited coins.
Go to a shopkeeper, and then say, okay, I want to exchange gold coins for seasonal coins, or sort of crowns or something like that. Just a way to
like a currency exchange.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But then again, why are we expecting this kind of mechanic from the company that decides we're going to give you 10 Melina costumes and no way to switch between them?
We're not transitioning out to that topic just yet, Snake. I know what you're doing. We're not there. We're not going there yet.
Like, slow your roll, bro. Hold on. We'll get there.
In the span of
we were talking about costumes.
In the span of like 2 months, we've given her four costumes in like 2 months.
I want to talk about.
I love how
I want to
like,
complain about
one of those
it.
costumes. In fact,
I want it.
because like Shred, you talked about the reason you played Invasions is for like the final boss skins.
Like
I just played Invasions.
One palette, like 1 or 2 palettes of one costume. So.
I played this season just for Kalima because I knew she was there. So when I got her, now I'm very not motivated to continue because that's all I wanted.
You got what you wanted.
But even then, I don't even think that's the correct palette that Kalima had in the story mode. I think, and this is the thing that I'm really complaining about. Recently, it's like they put a lot of they're slowly distributing the story mode skins, and used to be every update they'll be like, okay, the story mode skin that you want to get, for example, what was like the first ones, like Evil Gearus, Evil Sindel, Indiana Jones, Johnny Cage, all in the shrine. You can just get that all in the shrine on day 1. The entire palette's all there. Awesome. Next update, we eventually get like the casual costumes that Kalel Raiden wear in Chapter 1. Oh, I love those. Great. All in the shrine. You can get them all and stuff. But now the game is, I guess, I feel like it's lacking in content. They really have to spread their content now. So they're like, okay, so the Shaolin monks costumes, they're on like the highest level on the seasonal tower. You got to play like the race against time, which Snake does. I think some of them you can find even in the invasions mode and stuff like that, and it's like one palette, one palette. When it used to get 6 in the shrine and stuff like that.
I think they need to start thinking, and I don't have the answer, by the way, but I think they really need to start thinking about like player and audience interests, because I feel like NetherRealm Studios, or maybe it's WB, who knows, that's making these calls. I have a feeling it's NRS, but it's like I feel like they're still living in the past. And they're trying to fulfill an audience now with things that are going on in either the past or in other places. So they're trying to fulfill like content and spreading out their content. Well, it's like we can get the content in 1 or 2 days. So how do you keep a player interested, like in a game that actually wants to keep going? Because it's not like unlocking costumes like you did back in the day. That's not the case anymore. So it's. That kind of begs the question. It's definitely, this is something that you'd have to go to a marketing team or to talk about. But I mean, they're significant. I have a feeling, and I don't know the numbers, but I would assume that we're losing player interest in the game. And so how do you keep people interested for longer periods of time when we can unlock the content in one day.
Yeah, it does.
You do mobile tactics.
To me, it really does feel like maybe from the WB end, they're like, we want greater audience retention. Because a lot of the stuff is designed to be like a slow burn, like the mastery. You want to get all the light palettes, you have to go quite a ways into each character's mastery to get those. But it also incentivizes it because, here you can get the premium currency. Two ranks for each character will get you some premium currency. As Dog will say, you get free skins. It's not really, but it kind of is, but it's not. Stop lying to your audience, Dog. And
it's not free? How's it not free?
Way to call him out, like the little passive aggressive there. He's just like, way to lie to your parents there. So anyway, it's like a premium currency.
What am I missing?
It's a joke. It's fine. Don't worry. So you have that.
It's not a joke, but
the way the costumes, the story costumes that people want, have been in the game since release. But we have to wait months for them to be added to the shrine. Then you have the evil costumes that are added through Titan battles that are limited time only, so you have to get in while you can. And then you have the invasions palettes and stuff like that. And that's why it's shocking how the expansion came out and we just have all those costumes, whereas we're still missing some costumes from the base story. But it does feel like there's this big push for audience retention. And I can actually imagine someone at Warner Bros. Saying, okay, you're going to sell the expansion for this much. And then NetherRealm's like, okay, well, we're going to have all these extra costumes. They go, okay, you're going to put those in all these other modes. And NetherRealm actually pushing back against it, saying, we want there to be as much... I mean, I'm sure I'm just making this up in the head, but I can imagine NetherRealm being like, no, we want to have a lot of content in this expansion that people are paying this much money for. So, some pushback to say, we're not going to spread this out like everything else. We're going to have this stuff just be available right from the start because people paid for it. And then Warner Bros. Like, fine, well, you have to spread everything else out even thinner because we need the audience retention to justify keeping the servers up. Because
the audience doesn't think like that. That's the thing. The audience doesn't think like that. They're just like, I can't, like, I got everything. Oh, I have to wait a couple months or wait a couple weeks before, this next thing comes out. And they're just going to be like, F it, I'm not going to play. I don't care.
Exactly.
What players actually want.
That's such a silly way of looking at it.
Yeah,
true.
Here's what you actually do, NetherRealm, right?
Warner Bros. Is so famously out of the loop on anything that any of their customers in any medium, any field, any genre want. You can believe they would think that way.
Yeah,
it's remarkable.
I mean,
it's actually remarkable how out of touch they are. Yeah,
I'm still sticking around playing Invasions, is not because I like the game. I'm just playing it because it's a content. It's like I can chat with you guys about it. If I were a regular person and I didn't have a YouTube channel, I'd be done by like the first season of Invasions. Just like you too, Shred.
I like to. I didn't like Invasions, but I would get.
Yes,
I
exactly.
would get the costume to go play online. That's what I would do. I would go play Invasions and get the costume to go play online. That's what I would do. So
I'm gonna do a little bit right now. NetherRealm, here's what you do. Okay, look at Call of Duty. You can prestige the characters. If you get enough kills with this specific weapon, you get a gold version of the weapon. Let players flex their nonsense. All right, you get camo, jungle camo,
Overwatch golden weapon.
Yeah, you get these different skins, but it's not for leveling up the character per se. It's for prestiging the character. Yeah. You get a stupid icon next to your name. Players apparently really love that shit in Call of Duty. Look at me,
golden gauntlets.
10 prestige, and it's like, okay, you do shit like that. That's what you do, NetherRealm. Golden Spear with Sub-Zero to prove that you've killed 5,000 people with Sub-Zero. There you go.
Golden Ice.
That's what you do.
Asking them to recolor the effects of the characters is a bit much.
That'd be even better. Do that too. Do that too. You get golden fireworks with Lee May to prove that you've done 500 fatalities with Lee May online.
Cute.
Yeah, you get the golden force balls with Reptile.
Over
they kind
of
have that for the Kombat
I'm
League,
just saying you can have like a specific border for getting like over 500 wins online, or maybe like you 100%ed like the so and so evasions. Like my thing is what I like is exclusivity. I like the fact or achievement. Yeah, that's another great way of saying it. But yeah, it's the fact that I have something that somebody else doesn't. So that's what I like.
And you rub it in their fucking face. You're like, look what I got, you little.
Are you telling me that an extreme close-up of a character's chest to be the background of your combat card isn't enough to flex on people? Are you telling me that's not good enough? You entitled
Increase
little
That is an
worm.
actual thing.
Super
We are
close
Warner
up
Bros.
chest.
Yes.
You will take this slop and you'll consume it and you'll love it. You worm.
You should also just throwing ideas out there. Also, let us customize our health bar, like our design around the health
Oh, like
bar, kinda
Tekken?
like Tekken.
Yeah,
yeah, but
Tekken?
just our side.
Tekken and Street
so when they
Fighter,
fight
yeah, they
against
both
us,
do it.
they see my golden freaking health bar, and it's like, yeah, that's right. I have played 1,000 matches.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
Look at my golden.
No, I like that in
health bar.
Street Fighter
A
too. It's
flaming
like
head. Go
if
ahead.
I get 500 wins, I have a little thing like on my thing, 500 wins with Cammy
Yeah.
or 500 wins with Ken. It's like I have that. So
Yes, there you go. You had the flaming
Yeah.
skull too, and the different icons. Yeah, like in Street
And
Fighter, all the
they
different
gotta-
expressions for each character. Kind of clever. Yeah.
Yeah, little titles
thing I wanna-
are really good. I mean, I don't know how Warner Bros. Can look at Overwatch coming out with the Kitten of Discord title that you can put on your character, on your account.
That's
and,
real?
and not think we need to have that as well. How can you not
Oh my
think
gosh.
that with
Yeah.
MK? I want to be.
That's in Tekken.
I want
You
to
have
play.
your little, like-
I want to play Katana Kitten of Discord. Come on.
Yeah.
yeah, and these are all, go ahead.
Yeah, basically what I wanted to bring up, because I brought up like the Kalima skin. One thing I want to bring up is like, I feel like people have to be appreciative and feel very lucky for like the first half of the year when those skins were in the shrine. If you like those skins in the story mode, congrats, dude. You get them all in the shrine. If you like
Oh, yeah.
Kalima, if you like the Shaolin monk skins, if you like the festival skins for like Kung Lao and Johnny, good fucking luck. You're gonna get one palette in the Race of Time and maybe in Invasions mode. Good luck finding them. And that's how I
people,
feel like the second half of these
Yeah.
skins. They're just like they're so exclusive. Ooh, but it's like you need the first
Everybody
half
who
is like,
saw
oh,
the Mortal Kombat 11 leaks for Liu Kang and Kung Lao wearing the Kotal Khan outfits when
Yes.
when they're
Hashtag
sneaking into the
outfits.
Baraka like camp, those people are like with the noose around their neck going first time. Yeah, I know what it's like to wait
the
for the
festival
costume that's
costumes,
clearly in the
yeah.
game files, but we just don't get to have it. Yeah, first time.
since we're talking about these skins, I want to bring up something that I was
Brown
pinged on
Quan Chi
Twitter.
is finally in the files. He's not available yet, but he's in the files. Hooray! Yay!
Brown Quan Chi.
So no,
We're
still waiting for
getting
Yellow
Christmas
Chameleon,
for
but still.
GTA 6.
We're getting. But let me show you guys something. So a fan of mine sent this to a couple of people, and he tagged me in here. And basically, it's Reptile has a new freaking lizard form.
Oh, looked at the wrong thing. My bad.
He's got a new fiery lizard form.
Oh, hell yeah.
See that orange thing right
Yeah.
there? I'm like,
I'm waiting for it.
dang, that looks cool. Do you guys know how to get that skin?
How?
It's in the Legacy Tower.
Oh yeah, the
Oh.
Legacy Tower that says it gives you skins from previous seasons, but it doesn't. It just gives you new ones based on those old themes. Not even for new
Yes.
other costumes that didn't get them. It's just base Liu Kang with the fire colors. Here's another one. Here's another one.
Is it a
Here's
hard
another
grind?
one. Here's another one.
Is it a hard grind? Well, first off, Troner Dog, let me, and also Shredder and Snake, you might understand here. Basically, it's a random skin for after you beat like 4 characters, and it costs you like 2,500 crowns. Do you
Oh,
want to
wow.
know? Because somebody in the comment section here actually said that he grinded the entire Legacy Tower. Bless your soul, by the way, whoever you are. Do you want to know how many skins there are, how many pellets there are in that Legacy Tower currently with this new update?
Go on.
I'm putting my money down on 30.
100.
30. Okay.
5.
So I've gotten over 30 already
5?
from last season.
Yeah, how many did you get, Snake, actually?
Oh, too many to count. That was the main thing I was doing for a long time the first time, because it's like, well, here's new content as opposed to do 5 towers with 8 characters to get one costume. It's like, well, just fight 5 people that are lower difficulty and then you just get a colour. I'd much rather do that. So I've gotten at least 30 by now, so I'm going to get 100 plus.
Okay, so I believe when it first came out, like it was 100 or ish. Yeah, right now somebody says here that tower has 332 skins.
How?
332, and this guy says he's got like 229 of them.
And they're all
Oh
brand
no, he says
new?
pallets,
Yeah.
So just like slightly.
But they're still
changing
new,
colors
though.
and stuff like that. Yes,
You-
they've
use-
never been
use
used.
the same themes that already exist, but they are new. Like, some are decent. Like I think I got an all red version of Liu Kang, like base Liu Kang.
Yeah, I got
all
like a
red,
weird
so it looks
orange
really
Sindel
good.
and stuff.
But most of them are terrible.
That's not why I'm I'm grabbing my nose bridge, because like these clearly were around for a while. If there's 200 of them, where were they when there was no content? Like whether it be in the
Well,
shrine
dog,
or
you
whether
see-
it be in other places.
Yeah.
Where were these?
Well, the thing is, dog, you're saying that as if making these things takes time. It's
I mean, it
literally
doesn't,
just.
but I feel like realistically they probably were done already. Like just realistically, I feel like they were already done.
Where
You're
were they in
It doesn't take any
Invasions?
time.
Yeah.
For anyone wondering how easy it is, you legit just open the thing in Photoshop, the UV map. You go to hue saturation. You just change the hue slider, and you've got a new palette. There you go. Now they get a bit more creative sometimes and add tattoos and like frost textures and stuff, which is cute, and I appreciate that. It's certainly more work than I've seen in some games, like in Overwatch, for example. Sometimes it's legit; they just change the colors. So I will say that's a bit more creative. Now, Bat also said Overwatch when the game first launched had like 3 costumes for each character, like different costumes,
2
not just
legendaries
colors.
for each character,
Yeah.
and then like 2 epics,
so-
which sometimes changes and sometimes doesn't. Like, yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Interesting.
But yeah, this kind of pisses me off because I want this fire reptile skin. Well, 1 out of 332. Good fucking luck, Sonic.
Is there more than one? There could be more than one fiery reptile.
This is the only one based off.
Really?
Of, like,
That's
this
funny.
tweet.
Ha, rip.
And it's the shitty or like union of like reptile, but that's the only fiery
Yeah,
reptile exists
actually.
in the game. It looks. I want that fucking fiery reptile. 300 out of what?
Calm down,
I don't-
Snake.
it's just,
I mean,
like,
sorry,
piss
calm
me
down,
off.
Sonic. You know, realistically, you only turn into like the reptile form for like 10% of the match at most.
You shut the
Like
fuck up.
you're freaking out for
You
no
shut up.
reason.
I
You
care
just
about
shut
that
your
palette more
filthy mouth
than
right
the
now.
skill. Than the
I mean,
skin
to be
itself.
fair,
Okay.
dog, in like every single cinematic action he has, intros, outros,
Fatal blow.
super moves, finishes.
You win the
all
game
of them,
as-
he's lizard form.
yes.
Every single one.
Exactly.
So it's like
Yeah.
Serena. Here's a cool new Serena skin that you'll never see because she always shows up in demon form.
She's always in the demon form, yeah.
Yep.
Or
the only
old man
exception would
shakes
be
up.
if,
I don't, dude. I have such a problem with that too. Like, Serena's my favorite character in the game, too.
It's a
Like,
shame because we were asking for Demon Serena, like we were, and then we got it, and we're like, no, not like that. It's
Yeah.
too much Devil
that is
Serena.
that is not the demon Serena that I and that's the other thing too. I want to give kind of NRS the benefit of the doubt a little bit because what goes on in your head is not always what the developers are going to do. You know, or
True.
maybe because you're going to be like, oh, I wish they would have had this specific character with this specific costume with this specific color because that's what I wanted and that's what I thought they were going to do in him. When they don't do that
Yeah.
thing, you get super, super disappointed, you know? So it's like that. But they did give us Serena 90% of the time she's in demon form, which is not what I wanted. You know, I did not want, I didn't want to see any demon form of Serena at all.
Ah,
you know,
okay.
I didn't want that. I wanted just Serena because, by the way, her entire design is freaking phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
that was a
She's great.
wonderful design. But then she like keeps showing up in demon form, and it's an awkward looking. It's very awkward looking.
It's a very
you know.
default, like, sexy lady demon form, honestly.
I wouldn't even say sexy. It's just weird. You know, that's just my
Diablo.
opinion.
Listen, avert
looking,
your male
you know.
gaze. Avert your male gaze. This is not for you.
It's just weird to me. Yeah, I didn't look at it and be like, ooh, sexy demon. I looked at it and I was like, that's just weird. But yeah,
What's funny is if they wanted to, like if NetherRealm didn't have so much bloat, which is why I assume this stuff goes like so slow. They have to ask this person for approval, then they have to ask that person for approval, and
Yeah.
then by the time it gets all the way back down, then you can finally make the change. Otherwise, you could instantly fix this problem if players wanted it. You could just have another option for Serena, and all you would do is give her that default fatal blow that you get in story mode when you have like the story only cameos do a fatal blow, and they just run in and go like punch, punch, arm break, headbutt, and like knock them back. Just have her do that instead, but she stays human the whole time, and then she wouldn't transform during the fatal blow. Yeah.
Yeah, here's a way, like you said, turning it on and off. How about just turn it so when she's in demon form, she doesn't turn into demon form, but she has the demon tail, because that's the only thing, and the claws.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that like she utilizes in demon form, anyways. So just have her be in human
True.
form with
You
the
could do
claws and
that.
the tail.
And
You know?
I've been
like how
wondering,
Reptile
like, fingers crossed.
transforms half of his arm or head and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been wondering, fingers crossed, if maybe when that Christmas outfit gets here for Serena, maybe they'll actually do that. Maybe it will override her demon form, and she'll only change a little bit. Maybe.
No.
we'll see.
What they'll do
fingers
is
So
crossed.
here's
I
an
don't think
interesting
it's
thing.
gonna
Would you like to
happen, but fingers
transition into
crossed.
the skins, or would you like to transition back to Ghostface?
Huh?
Fuck Ghostface. Blue. It should be
Wow.
blue skin. It should be blue demon. You know, like how Reptile gets recolored occasionally. She'll just turn.
I
blue.
was thinking about that too. Yeah, they might recolor the
at
Serena.
this. I didn't know if that was real, but I just looked at
it's her and Frost are getting them because they were added.
Yeah,
to the
they
file,
look.
so
I'm looking at them right. I'm looking at them right now. They look freaking dope.
Yeah,
She has a
they're
little
really
Santa
cute.
hat on her skull belt. I love it. She has a skull belt and a little Santa hat. It's a goth Christmas.
Yeah, let me look up the skins right now. But
a goth
yeah,
girl
basically we're getting
Christmas.
some new skins. So let's talk about finally after the game's been almost a year old. Well, to be fair, we have had cameo skins, but they're like classic skins. We haven't had new skins, new original skins.
All they've added is they added a few new palettes for Frost, which give her like a bit like a Cyber Frost look based on Garrus's theme from last season for Liu Kang, and one or two other characters got a new color. And they've started doing Twitch drops where they add purple colours for certain characters. Frost has one.
Oh, yes.
Cyrax, where it just looks like Cyber Smoke, and it's dope. So there's a few of those, and that's basically it. But now here we're getting Christmas skins for Serena and Frost. So Serena,
Yay.
it's still somewhat classic. Just now she's got a bunch of like Christmas taff all over herself, but it looks good.
Christmas hat.
I like the fish the fishnet arms, you know.
Yeah.
Or
I didn't notice that.
sleeves. Sorry. And then no, Frost definitely deserved it. I was looking at the Frost. I'm looking at the Frost one, and it looks dope, dude. It looks super cool.
The Frost one, I'm pretty sure Snake and Trinidog, and maybe even you should, you have to have noticed. You have to.
But I can't talk about it because Dog has left. I don't know where he is. He needs to talk about this too.
He does this. He
That
does
coward.
this. We won't spoil it, but
That
at least let me get back to the what is it called?
Well, we're still waiting.
Serena.
We're still waiting for Liu Kang Bruce Lee costume, which is in the game, but was just not available yet. So I'm wondering, that must be a weird Christmas thing, and I assume they'll be bringing back the holiday palettes from last year. That makes costumes, sense. Katana, Reptile, and
dude, that Frost
Shout.
skin is freaking dope, dude. I'm looking at it right now.
It's great. It
Dude,
is
that's
actually really
so
good.
sick.
I just feel like it's really a shame that I feel like this might be just me, but when the game just was announced and when they announced Cameo Fighters and everything like that, I felt like Cameo Fighters getting palettes and skins was a no-brainer. Why is this something that was it's such an integral to the game, and it's these characters also don't have as much detail put into them compared to the main roster. So it's how hard is it to give them palettes or even skins?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it's 20% of the cameo, 20% of the effort the main roster gets is thrown to the cameo fighters. It's who cares about Motaro? We're not giving anything, or Goro. It's you should maybe love your own cameo system a bit more if you want us to care about it.
I
and whatnot.
always thought that when Invasions was done and they're going to start recycling like they have done, I thought the perfect thing to do to add more content, so people who've already 100% completed Scorpion season will come back, rather than just putting 6 skins just randomly about here or there. Give all of the cameo fighters, base game and
some
DLC, palettes of that season. Give everyone the Scorpion colour palette, the fire ones. Then next season everyone gets blood. Here's your Vampire Serena, Vampire Frost. Some of those designs would go so hard, but they've not done any of that. And it's it's so straight. They just abandoned cameos. Again, the latest season of DLC, no cameos. Ed Boon has at least suggested there's going to be some cameos coming up in the next year, but we've seen nothing from them. They've really told us nothing. I'm just there
don't know.
It really just feels like they've accepted that so much of the fan base has rejected this system that instead of trying to win people over to it, they just said, fine, fuck it. No more investment in this system. It's gone in the next game.
Let's.
Oh, for sure.
Is there going to be a next year? Because that's one thing I don't know if you wanted to bring that up.
That'll be our finale, by the way. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you?
What is that, dog? You just left and you're showing us your bakery or something. What is that? I saw that. Show it. Hand it over. Show it.
I wanted to talk about the cool new Frost skin that we know what that's based on, but we couldn't talk about it because you left.
You can talk about it. You can talk about it.
You need to talk
We
about
wanted
it.
to hear what you had to say. We wanted to hear.
You're the number one stan of
Okay.
the source material.
Sorry, so I can
Buffalo.
explain to you why I left. You just cut it out of the video, but I smelled my sweetheart making breakfast, and she'd be sad if I didn't eat it when it was warm, so I had to go grab some.
Aww, that's very wholesome. That looks very good.
The new Frost Christmas skin I think was definitely inspired by Lin Kuei Girl from Mortal Kombat.
That's
Onslaught.
right.
Yeah, which the whole internet went wild over for a little bit. She got lots of fan art. It was cute. I feel like if you go off social media and just ask an average Mortal Kombat fan, they might not know about it. So it's a bit niche, but on social media and stuff, it was pretty cute to see all the fan art and whatnot of Lin Kuei Girl. And they kind of combined that with Frost.
Yeah, I really do feel like somebody at NRS was like, they've heard the craze about the Lin Kuei Girl, and they thought, why don't we give it to Frost? Legit, even like, I love the skin, but even if you take off like some of the Christmas like decorations on the clothes, on the armband or something like that, it would look like a bomb ass skin like that too. It would look like really awesome for Frost, like without it just being a Christmas theme too. It's just it's great.
It could also work because the design is obviously the base for the costume is Katana. It's got Katana's MK11 face and mask. Like Katana was the base for this model. That could work as a costume for Katana if she's going to like a cold place and this is her royal cold protection gear. So she's on the campaign against General Shao's forces, or even better during the Sub-Zero season, she's fighting back against evil Sub-Zero's forces, and she's wearing this cute little outfit, and it's like, oh.
To be fair though, Katana does have a Christmas skin, right?
Oh yeah.
You tend to forget. It's more of a remix. It's not like a super great skin.
It's easy to forget the costume exists when it's not been available for almost a year.
It's a Christmas exclusive costume. Come on now. They gotta be thoughtful.
But the holiday fatalities haven't been available since last Christmas.
Because they're holiday themed, of course.
Yeah, but even for Halloween, they didn't bring them back. You couldn't get them for Halloween or Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just been gone. So are they just not selling those anymore? What's happening?
How many holiday
sure they'll be
skins
back
does
for
Street Fighter
Christmas.
6 have? Do they have any?
Holiday skins? I'm gonna guess no.
That's a whole nother podcast, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's like the main.
There was some comments.
It's been over a year.
Yeah.
It's been
Maybe
over
They
a year
retweeted.
since they have any skins at all, not just holiday, just any skins. If you want to go to Street Fighter 5, yeah, 100%. They have so many holiday skins and or costumes, but no, that's a whole other thing for Street Fighter 6 that they have not had any new costumes in over a year. It is a problem. It is a huge problem.
Someone just retweeted the original trailer showing like costume like 3 DLC trailer, and then someone was just like, "It's been a fucking year, dude.
Yep.
Why?" or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if
there's nothing.
I wonder why that is.
Tekken, on the other hand, Tekken is just like throwing stuff at you. They're
True.
they're just like, oh, you want avatar customizations here? You want costume customizations here? You can have that all. But with Street Fighter 6, they're just like avatar customizations here, left and right. And that actually, someone responded to me on Twitter because I commented about that and or said something about that, and I was like, I'm just curious I want to know what's going on in Japan. Like in Japan, are people really into avatar mods and customizations and whatnot? And someone was like, actually, yeah, if you go into like the lobbies and stuff, oh my gosh, the Japanese go crazy over that stuff, and they like that stuff. And so if that's the case, I totally get it. Japanese company and stuff, so they're definitely doing their thing. But for the rest of the world, we're just like, where's the next costume? We don't know.
Yeah.
So
it does have its very niche fan base. Tekken from the beginning, they knew that like their system allows them to do lots of customization, so that freedom is a lot more fun. But that's really just also something unique with Tekken.
Literally every month they're just like, here's more. Oh, you want like, post-apocalyptic motorcycle, post-apocalyptic Mad Max style? Here you go. You want Christmas? Here you go. They're just throwing stuff at you left and right.
Do you want this Tekken 7 skin that we totally did not copy and paste over? Do you want this? Yes? I bet you do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you want that? You want the June Tag 2 skin? Yep, you can have that. I mean, it's like they're just throwing stuff at you, which is great.
But if you're a modder, we're going to ban you for no reason.
Mechanics, but yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You want the Heihachi diaper from Tekken 4 with every character? Here you go.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I didn't know that.
But yeah, so
Only guys, I'm guessing,
Snake. But a Snake, who other what other skins got added into Mortal Kombat 1 recently?
He's leading you into the topic.
Of course.
Jeez, that took a while.
First they completed the set. Almost. They almost completed the set of the 95 movie costumes with Rain and Ermac. Still no Noob Saibot, but sure. Now the sad part is, so with Rain, the mask is preset because he doesn't have mask customization like the other male ninjas do. His is his staff. So
yeah,
he ends up being cheaper than the others because if you've already got the UMK3 costume, it's the same staff. So that's officially his retro 90s staff for some reason.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then there's also Ermac. Ermac, I think, actually looks really good if you put the UMK3 mask on him. Because I think generally if you put those masks on, the characters look really good because you add a bit more colour to it. Rain is stuck as he is. But the sad part with Rain is, he actually did have this costume in Conquest. The canonical spin-off TV show prequel to the movies. And he actually had like a coloured mask there. But they just gave him the Annihilation mask instead.
Ah.
So he doesn't look as good as it could do. But it's still a good look.
I think what's super funny about that is you kind of predicted that in a tweet like a couple of days before that got leaked, right?
Oh yeah, I was like,
yes,
I was like Conquest Conquest Rain and Noob Saibot when and everyone focused on the Noob Saibot one because he doesn't have the ninja look. Because I guess his design hadn't been fully finalized yet at the time or something. Yeah. So he's just basically wearing like a t-shirt with oil on it because his theme is oil. That's how they beat him. Is like I think Zero throws a torch at him and sets him on fire, and that's how they defeat him because his gimmick was oil instead of shadows. Because this was before anything was established about the character.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, oh, why does he look like he's wearing a gimp suit? Haha, gimp suit. What an original thing. No one's ever said that before, other than 500 people who responded to this banger tweet.
Snake. You've also said the Noob Saibot gets to say the N-word like 500 times before, too, so I don't know if you're in a position to make that joke.
Have I said that? He does. It's lore accurate that he does.
You have said that many times, Snake.
It can't be many. I'm sure like once or twice.
Uh-huh. Anyways, so the point is, you were pushing that, being like, Conquest Raid and Noob Saibot when?
Yeah, then I was like, did I do this? And some people were like, please, I'm begging you. Predict something else.
Predict something else, man.
But of course, I had already predicted.
That. I should put it out there.
I had predicted a while ago that they would do the MK2 Lady Ninja costumes, and they have. I didn't expect them to give one to Tanya because she's never.
Yes.
Because other than Chameleon's moveset in Armageddon, Tanya's never really been considered one of the female ninjas. But I guess it makes sense. It's a costume you can sell for multiple characters.
And the cute thing is she has an MK4 reference where it's like got the black down the middle. So that's kind of cute. I don't get why they couldn't just give her the texture. Like it couldn't have been that hard to give her the actual crest and stuff. But
but
you know, it's whatever.
They've all the palette names are references to MK4, like how she's an ambassador, how she betrayed Liu Kang, and all this stuff. It's like there's some cute little nods here and there. I feel like the people who put in like the most work are whoever names these palettes. Because there are some good ones.
Her hairstyle too. Her hairstyle changes to the MK4 too. I think with the side.
Yeah.
So pretty cute.
They're evoking
pretty clever.
that clearly. They're evoking MK4 very apparently.
They got that skin. That skin got a certain angry boy on Twitter who will not be named very angry, and that was really funny to watch him get upset over that and contradict himself in one tweet. We're not going to say who. He is the Voldemort.
Why? What do they do?
Long story short, someone complained about how Tanya doesn't have a mask because they have to show her ugly face because this game is woke and all that. And it's like,
Tanya doesn't have a mask because she's literally never worn a mask.
It's just chill, guys.
Exactly.
Where are we going? It's not that deep.
Which is
not
why it was
everything
so
is always
funny
so
because he contradicted himself in that one tweet. He went, "This is stupid. Tanya's never had an MK2 costume." Then he says, "Look at my face" thing. But then he contradicts himself and says, "If it was an MK4 outfit, that would be completely fine." But she doesn't have a mask, so that's really dumb too, because Tanya doesn't get the mask because look at my face. And it's like, pick a lane, dude. Do you want it to look more like MK4 or not? You can't complain that it's MK2 and not MK4, and then complain about the elements of MK4 on the MK2 outfit. It even has the MK4 references with the name and the hairstyle and the color scheme. Yeah. I put it in the chat.
Is this one of those guys who's like, oh, the character's black, oh, it's woke?
Yeah.
One of
most
two.
likely,
There's
yes.
two heads on that snake
Yes.
recently for some weird reason. There's two heads on that snake.
That's just an
Yeah.
example that, you know, it's like, oh, that's like, oh, this character's gay, that's woke. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What conversation is there here, basically?
But what's
Yeah,
funny
I
is
think-
that I've seen some people call him an OG, and it's like, you realize OG doesn't just mean you've been around a long time. It stands for original gangster, which means you're actually cool. Like, people like you in the community. This guy, if he's been around for so long, can't amass an audience of more than like 2,000 people or something. I don't know how many like people he has, but it's like, he should have more followers if he's an OG, don't you think? Like, when you think OGs, you think of like ketchup and mustard, you know,
Hell yeah.
Brady too.
Maximilian
Yeah.
dude.
Maximilian dude, yeah. And like, if talking YouTube in
Famous.
general, there's even bigger people like, you know, Markiplier, PewDiePie, all that. But
Of
yeah,
course,
I don't know,
yeah.
I just find that funny. It's
Yeah, I
wild.
think,
Anyway, I wanted to bring that up for fun because this is a funny like tangent of like, oh my
I
God,
wanted to bring
they
that
gave
up
her a
too,
costume.
actually.
It's
It's
so
just funny.
stupid, but also here's what I like about it.
I actually think Tanya getting this is like it's nice. It's a cute addition. It's like Melina and Katana were like the must-have for the classic, but then it's like let's give a third one to somebody because they did that with Smoke, Ermac, and Rain. They got their 95
Scarlet
inspired
last
skins
time.
too,
She got the lady
and
ninja
Scarlet
suits.
last time, yeah. So it's kind of just like why don't we give it to somebody like to Tanya? Like I wouldn't even mind it before it's for like Ashra and she gets like a white costume. It's just like oh that's cute. Like just throw it to one of these like lady characters too to add it to like a trio and stuff.
I think it's neat that one of her colors also has green on it. A nice little nod to Jade,
Oh, yeah.
perhaps.
Maybe.
True.
Could be.
The moment
I
you
thought it
say
was a reference
Jade,
to-
everybody's going to be like, why is it Jade here? You know, it's, yeah. It's,
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
really is. It
don't
really is a race
say,
to the,
don't
Jade's-
say her name.
Jade stands, Hanzo
The forbidden
stands. It's a
word.
race to the bottom to be the new Melina stands.
Oh, no.
I do
Snake,
love how
this is
Losty
like
Girl
the
I think
fifth
posted on
time in a
Twitter
row
saying
you had to shit talk the Shade stance in every episode.
yes, they
It's
never
like
miss it. They never won't
Yeah.
catch a stray. But I think it's Losty Girl who posted saying, I need an explanation from NetherRealm why these two baddies can't exist in the same game. Because they keep alternating. Like, there's never allowed
That
to
is
be
a meme.
Jade and Tanya in the same game.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of games. It's been 4 at this point. And
I
they
gotta
still
say,
haven't
dude,
gotten to share a game.
Losty Girl is probably one of my favorite like reactions to watch because
That's awesome.
ever since there was I want to say I totally forgot what it was. It was like MKX or MK, it might have been MK11, but she reacted to a video of like Melina not being there or something like that, and she was just like the look of sad and disappointment from her but it was like the most, I don't know, better like cute thing to say because it was almost like a little girl opening up her present to not get what she wanted. It was like her reaction wasn't just like, what is it, Janet? It wasn't like any anger or anything. She was just like, why, you know? It was like ever since I saw that reaction video I was like, dude, this is like Losty's one of my new favorite creators.
Nice.
I was
You're
like,
onto
that
something
is
here,
the
Shred.
reaction. That is a genuine reaction from disappointment. So yeah,
You reminded me of something, Shred. The only time something got fixed, a big problem in Mortal Kombat, like the Shiva Stomp, was when a streamer cried. We need to have
Yeah,
a
that's
streamer
true.
whose job it is to cry
it took
at
us
everything that the
streamer
fans don't
to
like.
cry. I remember that.
Guys, it's time to bring back crying. That's
Like
the
when we
new-
first saw Tanya's face in the very first trailer that revealed her in Mortal Kombat 1, we should have had someone be like, like crying,
Yeah.
and then she'd be the most attractive woman in the entire game. That's just all it takes. NetherRealm responds to this. This is what we
Yeah.
need. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Sonic.
Someone brought up like Jade and you said like Losty Girl says Jade and Tanya can never be in the same game. I remember back in the day it was Rain and Tanya always like it's always 1-2 1-2 like Rain Tanya, and then this game kind of broke that curse. So now the Jade Tanya thing is being brought up, which is kind of funny because
There's also Reptile and Baraka because they alternated, not for as long, but they did alternate for a couple of games there.
True,
Oh, yeah.
X and
Both of
11.
those.
That's true.
Only
Which is
one
especially
monster
funny
character
because-
allowed.
Yeah, they're both monster men voiced by Steve Bloom, which is just it's funny how they did that twice. I'm not going to do the
True.
obvious meme, but it is funny they did that twice. But yeah, so obviously alongside Tanya getting the MK2 ninja costume, obviously so too did Melina and Kitana. And as I've said, Melina now has her like fourth new costume in like 2 months because she got the Empress one, and then she got the MK2 one. She got Deception a while ago.
Chaos one.
Yeah, the Maze Hunter, I think it is.
The Maze Runner.
I'm not calling it Maze Runner. I made that mistake already. But yeah, so those two got these costumes, and I got a bit of a tweet blew up when I said, "Can we not do this for the fourth time in a row?" Some people got mad, as you expect. But I will say, admittedly, this is the best these costumes have ever looked, and not just because of fidelity, but because they've actually done something with it. Like, if we're going to get the same costumes 4 games in a row, at least do something new with it. So adding lines and like alternate shades is normally something I look at and go, that's lame and cringe. I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
Like DC when they did New 52. Batman, Flash, everyone got these stupid lines. But it actually works with this one somehow. And then some of the alternate palettes actually make a bit more use of that. Like the Tanya one, the segments are some parts are black, some are yellow. And there actually are some pretty good alternate colours. It's all predictable. Like, Katanas are all going to be shades of blue, maybe some white or grey, and Katana's
she has a black one that looks pretty cool. Katana has like a full black suit. I'd like that one.
And then Melina's going to get your pinks and your purples, but there are some genuinely good palettes. I actually put a few of those in my favourites in the game.
Nice.
Some people are going to go, oh, if you hate it, why'd you buy it? For content. So I'm going to use it in content and then put it on my taxes. So
your tax.
It's a write-off, or at the very least you get your money back. Either way. Yeah.
What's funny is I think last episode Troner Dog was like, I agree with you, man, Snake. I don't like to bring back these skins, but I was saying like the Force Snake doesn't like these skins, not because he doesn't like these skins. It's more like he's annoyed that it's been 4 games in a row and we just keep getting this.
I mean, it's that
Troner Dog, however, doesn't.
There is that too. I do think the MK2 costumes are actually kind of ass.
Yeah, that too. But Troner Dog is more on the MK2 costumes or ass train, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I
understand they're iconic and fans like them, but for Pete's sake, like if you're going to devote time to something, can we just get like something else?
Yeah. But like,
that's all
someone
I'm
had the nerve, the gall, the utter fucking temerity to assert that the MK2 Lady Ninja costumes are the iconic looks of the character. No, they are not. The UMK3 ones are. That's what's been used as the basis for most of their costumes. The big plunging neckline with the little bits going across, that's UMK3. MK9 did it. Deadly Alliance did it. MK Gold especially, because I was just repurposing the design for Katana at least. A bunch of designs have used that aesthetic from that. The Shaolin Monks may have influenced MK2 may have influenced Shaolin Monks Katana, maybe DCU, and that's it. It's mostly the UMK3 design.
I mean, I would argue those are still kind of MK3 because they have the V.
I halfway agree. I agree that I think they're both iconic in their own right, but when I think of like classic MK, UMK3 definitely comes more to mind. But I don't want to discredit the fact that the MK2 were just
they were first.
They were first. They're iconic, but I do so like I said, I halfway agree because MK2s are definitely there, but MK3 is where that's where that's what I think of when I think of the original female ninjas.
Fair.
Yeah.
So
it's okay
MK3,
to be wrong.
I understand both perspectives. MK3 just had a longer period of being around because you had MK3, UMK3, MK Trilogy, like those 3 games. So as a result, it makes sense that those are what people think of. I'm okay with any of it. I just feel like it's such a, like what Snake was saying, and I'll add on to it by saying it's just a lame fallback. It's like, oh, we know people buy this, so we're just going to do this again. We're going to do it for the 4th game in a row. Like, it's just kind of crazy. Watch them do the MK3 ones again, too.
And keep in mind, though, like, Snake would also say the exact same thing for the male ninja skins. Like, he is also, like, of course, classic male ninja skins. Here we go again.
A bunch of people did equate the UMK3 male ninja costumes and, like, the ones we've had twice in 4 games. Yeah, that's definitely the same thing as the ones we get all 4 of them. It's like, if it was the MK2 ones again, I would say, yeah.
Exactly. Plus, we got robbed in Mortal Kombat 11 because we were teased MK3 Scorpion in the very first trailer. Like, the reveal debut trailer, and we never got it in the game. So we kind of, deserve it in Mortal Kombat 1. Like, come on, bring it in.
Yeah.
And I think it was even free, right? So, I mean...
Yeah.
And also, like Snake said, like, the new version, the new palettes on this actually do look good. I remember even, Jonah, you were like, this is the case where I like the changing on the MK2 designs here. Like, it actually
for the
looks
exact
good
reason
here.
Snake said.
It does.
It's the
It
fourth
looks
time.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because we've made it a point, and Snake has made a video that, like, to make sure to, like, go back to how the original looks and not change things. And, like, it always pisses us off. But this is a case where it's actually, you know what, this is a good, like, change. Like, we do like this one.
I have a quick question then. Would y'all rather have what we have now with all the classic skins, or would you prefer it was like MK11, where every time a DLC character got here, we got like 3 or 4 costumes themed around that character that went to some of the existing characters? Like how when Joker got here, we got a Catwoman katana, we got a Killer Croc Baraka, it was kind of themed. Would you have preferred that?
Yeah,
Well,
obviously, I
I
prefer
would,
that.
Because
absolutely.
It's just more variety.
And that's exactly.
So that's what I'm saying.
No
Just
shame
devote
in the
your
classic
energy to that
skins.
NetherRealm instead of doing these classics every single time.
But the reason they always do the same ones is because they can just make one model and just recolor it for
That's
different
true.
characters. That's the
Exactly.
reason why.
It's easier.
That's
Exactly.
why
Charged separately.
I mean, that's really
Yes,
the reason
exactly.
why we have the movie costumes for characters who weren't even in the movie. Is because the model exists. They can just apply it to these characters, and people go,
Copy paste,
yeah,
yeah.
it makes sense to have a movie costume for Smoke or for Ermac. But that's one of the things that
guess
the
it is,
males have an advantage with, because they have 2 movies where they have the same designs and 3 games where the designs were the same. The women just have the 2 games because they weren't in MK1, and the ones that show up in the movies had distinct designs. Melina's in Annihilation was similar to Katana's, but not close enough to where you could just recolor it. So they're at a disadvantage compared to the guys. We're going to just go, here's one model, we're going to sell it for the price of, effectively one costume for the price of like 3, maybe even 6 costumes.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess since people don't seem to be that outraged about it, it is one of the least controversial ways to get a cheap buck, because it really is one of the cheapest ways to make extra money. And I even mentioned that in my video, I think. So I guess, if you're going to make an easy buck, do it that way. But just because we brought it up, NetherRealm, if you're watching, I know you watch us because you keep putting stuff in that we ask about sometimes. I know you're watching it. If you are, then I would actually unironically pay for the Armageddon outfits for Jade, Katana, and Melina. Everyone else says they're trash.
No shit.
I mean, Annihilation, sorry. Everyone says they're trash.
Oh,
I would
Annihilation.
actually pay for them. Yeah, the Annihilation ones. It looks super, like crummy.
Annihilation Sindel. Please. I don't care if that's
that'd be cool,
corny.
too.
Come on. That's a fun, iconic one.
In her intro,
Yeah.
her intro has to be "in you
Too bad
will
you
die."
Will die.
Yeah. So to summarize this bit, I will say, like, there are many people who are happy that these skins are in the game. Like you said, it is an easy buck. But I also understand, like, it's a costume that a lot of people still do like. So, good for you guys. Just because some of us here are a bit more bitter and whatnot. Don't mind us. Just enjoy the skins. Just be happy with them. And also, literally, that tweet, when someone says, "I like pancakes," does that mean you hate waffles? Snake isn't going after you guys, okay? Snake isn't belittling you because you like the MK2 skins, all right? Like,
Yes.
Show down, guys. Come on, just saying.
All right, gentlemen. We are approaching the 2-hour mark, getting close to it.
Yeah.
Is it about time we address the most interesting thing to come up about Mortal Kombat 1 in a while that has everybody talking?
I guess so, but man, I have all these Ghostface things I prepared. But oh well, maybe
No one cares about
next time.
Ghostface. He had his time.
Ghostface had his chance. Like, Photoshop me into Man of Steel.
Unless Shred... Okay, we'll leave it to Shred. Shred, do you want to talk about Ghostface?
No.
You're our guest. Okay, move on.
Yeah. There you go.
Here's it. So,
Can I bring up one thing though, and it's about Shredder Dog.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Okay. It's because I love reading our comment sections that we've gotten, and one of the comments that I got, and this is related to, I believe, our cage match reaction. Someone wrote a really nice comment being like, and like they enjoy our podcasts, yada yada yada. Snake and Dog react to cage match, and he loves seeing our reactions, especially after seeing Dog's reactions to the scenes that straight up turned him on, and he couldn't hide it. Lamau. He wrote that. I don't. It's just like, I just like.
Not sure which scenes he means in particular. But okay.
I think Jataka
go
in
for
the
it.
dress was one of them.
Well, you know,
okay.
Johnny and BDSM, that scene
I
too.
think Jennifer when she's in like the Brotherhood of Shadow costume.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah, probably that
When
one.
she's straight up Serena.
Straight up couldn't hide it. Yeah,
This
I just wanted to
movie is
bring that 'cause
hot.
that-
It's like pointing at it. Why are they allowed to be
just wanna
sexy
bring
in
that
the
up 'cause
movies
I thought
but
it was
not in the
funny.
games for some reason? What is this bizarre conflict
I'll
of interest?
assume it's
Anyway.
because that movie is a send up to 80s movies where that just was the way it was back then, and so they can go,
Sure.
well, you know, it was the style at the time. We were trying to emulate that, and
Yeah.
someone was like,
yeah,
you know
we're
what,
trying
that
to
makes
like
sense.
go back to that time.
Whereas if it was set
Even
in
though
Johnny
I
gets the
hate-
girl at the end. and
no, you
whatnot.
can't do that now. We're in an era of liberation where you have to dress conservatively, ironically.
Yeah, you have the freedom to not dress how you want. I will say that Battle of the Realms, as much as I hate that movie, they made some really smart costume choices because we got a good look
of
for
them are
Lee
really
May. It was like her Armageddon outfit, but they were showing even more skin. I was like, nice, looks cool. And with Jade, it was her MK9 outfit, but I guess they didn't want to draw the crisscross of the threads every time, like in the deep V. So she just has the deep V. So she's showing even more skin because they just
Late
don't want to
bear.
draw the X's. Yeah.
I like Kung Lao's
Anyway.
look, where they're like, let's just take his MK9 look, which is like the final definitive best version of his MK2 look, because it went 2 to Shaolin Monks to this, evolving each time. Now we're going to take his MKX braided ponytail and put it on. It's like peak Kung Lao.
Yeah. Too bad he
Never
exists in
did
that
better.
film just
Put
to
it-
like
put
job
it-
twice, but still.
Put it in one NetherRealm. Put it in
I re-
M1K.
I really enjoy the
Nah,
Battle of the Realms.
I want the mask guard disguise that he always has. I want that as a skin. Come on.
What's up, Tread?
So, I said I really like. I agree with True Underdogs. I do like the or most of you guys too. The costume designs of Battle of the Realms. It was just they're entertaining, but dude, it's the art style is so hard to get by.
Yeah.
Like I
Understandable.
really don't like. I don't know why. I really don't like it. So.
You don't like the Giga Chad look where everyone has like chins that could break glass or
Oh my
crush
gosh,
diamond?
Yeah.
Well,
Did I just kill a mosquito
everyone's
when he
got
came back
black
to life or
knuckles, so
some
like
shit?
they've just been punching Noob Saibot in the face for 6 hours.
Yeah, like the dark rectangles for knuckles. You know, I was like trying to be on board with the art style because I think it was like it was partly a reference, partly like a new thing. But I had to agree with one of the comments in the very first trailer for Battle of the
Nice.
Realms. Someone just straight up said, "American animation really hasn't evolved, huh?" And I'm like,
Pretty
But
much.
to be fair,
Japan keeps
much.
cheating
Fair,
us.
though.
Japan, stop laughing. South Korea, stop laughing. Stop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
though, Snowblind and Cage Match completely changed the art style.
Yeah.
So
And look
Snowblind was
we're
actually
vibing with
really
that.
fun. I really like that one. Yeah, Cage Match was really good too. So
and the Cage Match art style is great. I do
Yeah.
love
Very
what they
pretty.
do with coloring and
Everyone
stuff
loved
there.
the yassified Shinnok.
Yassified Shinnok.
Forgot about that.
But yeah, let's talk about a dead game. Dun dun dun.
Multiverses is finally getting Scorpion.
Whoa! No way!
I'm not even sure how to start this conversation, but I guess yeah, basically there have been some rumors, some insider information that someone came out and said it's like Mortal Kombat 1 is about to like stop getting content, like they axed like future content. So basically by the time the last DLC characters are out, like either Conan or T1000, that might be it. That might be all we're going to get in the game. They were planning on having a Combat Pack 3. They were planning on having an additional story mode, and rumor has it that they might be gone. And this has made a lot of people like up and chatting about this conversation. It's got True Underdog talking about it and saying that the game died twice in his YouTube thumbnails.
And then saying it's not. And then saying it did. It's crazy what happens with
Yes.
the content.
Yeah. They
It gets-
yearn for it, Snake. The people yearn for the slop. They love it.
It got so
Yeah.
popular too, dog. Like your videos about that. But yeah, I
I was
kind of
telling
the king
Snake,
of
I mean, I was telling
slop
Sonic
Pyrocynical's
earlier, though, it's
weeding
not
off
just
the
me,
slop
it's,
dog.
sorry. What's, yeah, true slop dog. I'll do it. Hey, listen, if this next video gets 10,000 likes, I will change my name to True Slop Dog. I will do it.
Oh, no.
You think I won't, but I will.
the
At least it gives me an excuse to
for
finally
a
drop
video,
the gaming.
for a video, you have to put like in the intro or something true slop dog or something like that.
True under slop.
Yeah, just for
True
one
slop.
video. That's all. True
the
slop
sloppy
dog.
dog.
Yeah.
But I like to Tronodog start because you
sloppy
can
talk.
probably get more context about like your feelings and also like other rumors and stuff.
Also, where
I
this
assume-
rumor came from. That's important.
Yeah,
Sure,
I
yeah.
assume that everyone watching this is like everyone in this room. Sorry, in this like podcast, I assume we're all caught up on like where this came from initially. Basically, there is a verified insider named Fate Unknown whose username is super funny given what happened after this leak.
He's been accurate in the past.
Yeah, he has like 100% accuracy rate for the most part. I could be misremembering, but I think one time before he said the game was canceled too and wasn't going to even get a Combat Pack 2, and that was actually incorrect. And he said, no, I just misspoke. What I meant was this. But I could be wrong about that. I could be completely Mandelaing right now. I think that happened though, which gives me some hope. Anyway, when he
POV,
said this,
never-
everyone's
never
like,
almost found your
dang, this
location."
guy's... Yeah, he's like, dang, this guy's never wrong. So, like, rip, this is a shame. He also revealed the Combat Pack 3 characters, except for the guest character, which is a mystery, right? So that was really interesting. Gave some content to talk about. But as that's happened, there's been more rumors that are maybe, I'm still leaning towards it's canceled because I'm a Debbie Downer, but also because this just makes sense to me. Like, that was an crazy expensive price tag for Chaos Reigns. It didn't sell well enough. And that's apparently, according to him, why it's been canceled. Because they were hoping that would sell like crazy, but it didn't sell that well, which is why they're done. Because if that didn't sell well, they're not going to invest in a whole nother story mode part 3 and a combat pack part 3, which realistically, I imagine they're going to try and bundle again. So you have the Chaos Reigns bundle. You're probably going to have some other bundle, right, where it's all together, and that's the only way you can do it. You have to buy it as a bundle. The issue is, it was almost the full price of the game. That's crazy. I wish these people who are in charge of pricing these things were not yacht owners. I feel like everyone who makes these prices own yachts and don't realize that people won't just pay more. Yeah.
In my country, the DLC and the game are the same price. The base game with no DLC, the same
It
price.
varies based on where you are. It's interesting because for me it was $40. So it's like it's $20 or $30 less. So it just depends on where you live apparently, which is super weird.
Yeah.
That's also strange. I guess they just know they all have more money than us over there, like more disposable income. So they're like, pay more.
So
It's weird. No, it's weird for me because the base game is actually a little cheaper, but then the DLC is a little bit more expensive. It's like, pick a lane. What the frick?
Go ahead, Shred.
I have a few like thoughts on this whole thing because I saw a lot of patterns play out as that happened. So that happened. So apparently this guy has like 100% accuracy, you know, and so that, you know, future content has been canceled. Now that is hard. Releasing it has been canceled. The only reason I say that could be a possibility is because of WB, because they have created entire things and then canceled them. You know, like Batgirl, for instance, it was done. It was completely done and ready to ship, and the Batgirl movie, and they canceled it. So canceling something, even though it's already been created, does not surprise me 100%. However, I do think that the year 3 content has already been created. I think it was created like a year ago. So they've already created it. Just whether it's going to be shipped or not is something we can talk about, or whether they're going to ship. However, I think 1 or 2 days after this whole rumor started, they announced the next year of
competition.
So
yes.
Okay, they're going to keep doing competition, but they're not going to release content because they're going to need that money to pay for the competition, which it probably already has been paid for, but or they've probably already like put it in the budget and everything. But yeah, it's kind of up in the air, which I think would probably make for this really good conversation that we're about to have. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of things happened that would lead me to think maybe not. You know, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. But also, that content has probably already been made. You know.
Yeah, I can understand that. The thing that like I feel like this game should at least reach, or I would expect it to reach, is at least the support length of MK11, because MK11, even after the DLC, did have one more combat pack. So I would assume if the combat pack like gets canceled, like I feel like that part would be a bigger thing that they wouldn't want to try to release. But the story mode getting canceled, I would understand. So
the thing about that
Nick?
is, if you actually look at the number of characters that were added, once Conan and T1000 are out, that's the same number of characters that game had. Because Combat Pack 2 here
MK11?
has twice as many characters as MK11. It's the equivalent of the Aftermath characters and Combat Pack 2. So it is technically about the same amount. I think people won't see it that way. People will still say, well, you had Combat Pack 2, but the last game had the Aftermath expansion as well. That had 3 DLC seasons, whereas this has only had 2. So people will still see it as less content, even though it's roughly equivalent.
The time length is less, though. But yes, the amount is the same. Okay.
Yeah.
It's an interesting point, Nick. I never thought of it that way. Interesting.
Yeah.
I also think in regards to... what was it now? It's something Shred said. What was it now?
A competition.
No, it's not that.
They already finished the DLCs.
I imagine they probably haven't done some work on these DLC characters for the next season because, I mean, I think we're all in agreement that Ermac and probably Quan Chi were going to be on the base roster, but the timetable got moved up, so they had to be moved to Combat Pack 1. Well, who was going to be?
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence for that.
Yeah,
and perhaps like Geras or someone else was going to be DLC or something. It was moved around. Yeah.
You look at new Sector and Cyrax, and I feel like they probably weren't going to be Season 1 DLC. It's possible they were, but I just never got that vibe. I always felt like that was planned for the expansion, not what was going to be in Season 1. So that would then, so if that is the case, if I'm correct there, that would suggest whoever was going to be in Season 1 before the game got moved up in the timetable got moved to Season 3. So they may have done some work on those. There was a bunch of characters who were already like rumored, like Cassie and Kung Jin. Like their names popped up a lot in who was going to be in the DLC after the first season. So I suspect some of those probably already have some work done on them already. I mean, Jin is probably a pretty decent chance because his design is new in the story mode, whereas Cassie and Jackie are just redone versions of MKX and 11. But Jin got a new design, so he's probably coming in the next season. I don't know what's been currently leaked or rumoured, but he's probably going to come in the next season with some work already done. So I think it's likely that they've done work on some of these characters. So it might not be 6 characters, but I could imagine them being like, here's another 3 characters for Season 3, maybe with whatever cameos they're going to add, because Ed has said they're going to do more cameos. And like that's it's going to be a smaller, less large-scale expansion. Going to release over shorter
like Mortal
span of
Kombat
time.
Ultimate, basically.
Yeah,
the Ultimate 11 DLC.
Just like one last small thing to cap the game off, assuming the game is indeed over.
I think that Shred hit the nail on the head because he said the only way this gets canceled is if WB does it, because WB are boneheads like that. Because there is no financially sound reason to actually end it, because their next venture would just be more costly.
You could write it off.
Yeah, you could write it off. I guess that's true. But I'm just saying their next venture
That's
would be
what they
more
do with
costly,
Batgirl.
So.
Yeah.
Yes. But WB already announced that they're going to stick with 3 main titles and have them less frequently, right? They're going to focus on bangers and not like as many releases. So they said like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and Mortal Kombat.
No, it was Batman.
So,
I thought there was a 4th one.
Oh, sorry, Batman. Batman.
Yeah,
is
there's
it
a
4
4th
then? Is
one,
it 4
yeah.
games? So it's Game of Thrones is the 4th one then. My bad. Okay.
Yeah, there was 4.
So,
I remember there was 4, yeah.
So they're focusing on 4 main titles. So with that in mind, and Maximilian Dude himself has said that he's heard from insiders who say this, that if Mortal Kombat 1 did get canceled, they would just make another Mortal Kombat game. They're not going to make Injustice. Yeah. And they're probably not going to risk a 3rd new thing, because that's not a guaranteed hit. So
how did Injustice 2 do fiscally?
From what I've heard, it did worse than Mortal Kombat. It didn't do terrible. It just never does better than Mortal Kombat,
imagine that,
apparently. Yeah, it just never does.
Yeah,
well,
but it
which to me is
kind of crazy. Profit?
I imagine so.
I'm assuming
I don't
they
think
did
it's so
fine,
bad.
though, because I'm assuming.
And we had 3 different DLC packs, right? So it had to have been doing well if they did 3 DLC packs for Injustice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every DLC character got these cute little cinematics. They had way more effort put into them than the Mortal Kombat ones do, where they just walk into frame. They actually fought each other in the Injustice ones. It was pretty sick. Yeah, so I'm just saying, financially, it would be a bonehead move to cancel this project, which is already done and has assets. It's way easier to add assets to Mortal Kombat 1 to make money than to stop it right now and then make a whole new game and have this whole gap where there's like no content too. If they're going to start a new project, they should at least give us some characters from Combat Pack 3 to pay for their next project. Otherwise, there's this weird dead void where nothing's happening. Like, they're not making any money off Mortal Kombat while the new game is being made because there's no more content.
Flashback to MKX. But
it would
That's
also
weird dead period. It'd be super weird.
It would also be smarter, I think, although that could be a reason why they won't do it. With the new movie coming out next year, to make sure that the current product is still going strong, rather than you can buy the thing that's old while you wait for the new thing. It makes more sense to be like, we're going to put in some stuff to keep this game going. Maybe movie related specifically, or maybe not. But I think it would just be the smart decision to keep this game going at least until after that movie.
Yeah.
Which is
And even bundle them too.
Won't.
Yeah,
it'd be very smart because then they could also bundle it. Like, they could bundle the movie with the game, and it could just be the Chaos Realms, the Chaos Reigns version, but still, that game is still getting support. Nobody's going to want to buy the bundle if they know the game is dead and not getting any more content. So financially, again, only WB would be this dumb to into the game now. Only WB would be this dumb.
That right there is also why. It's also why they're not going to. People have been saying, "Oh, Ed Boon has been talking about the game's still going." Yeah, of course he has, because the current content cycle's not over. If the game does end with this season, they're not going to announce that. Remember, MK11, we didn't know that game was done until like 6 months after the last content came out, which was the 95 movie costumes.
That's what I was telling people in today's video, actually, which just went live. I said, I know people are trying to say, let's wait for an official word from NetherRealm. Fine, but just so you know, they have a track record of waiting a whole half year
Don't
or
hold your
more
breath.
before telling you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm not a good swimmer, okay? I'm not going to hold my breath.
And that's not scummy or anything. That's just good business. Because if they were to come out now and say, yeah, the game's content is over after these next characters, that would absolutely affect the sales of the last two characters. And I don't think the rights holders for Conan and T1000, and of course the actors' likenesses, they would not be happy, I'm sure, if what they contribute to the game is basically going to go to a dead game. So,
they could use it as a marketing thing though, because they could actually say like, this is the last content. We're not going to make any more content after this. We are going to be hyper focused on the next Mortal Kombat game. Like, they could do something like that. But
then that does.
They will have to say that after the DLC characters are out.
These characters are old hat. It's for the dead game as opposed to for the new thing. You know. So I think it just makes the most sense for Ed, even if he knows for a fact this game is not getting more support, to just lie basically and to say no.
Snake, not lie. Just don't say anything about it.
Yeah, and in his defense, I don't think any fighting game has ever come out and said, "Oh, by the way, this is it." Yeah. Like, I don't think I've really seen that.
No,
like, they never do that.
In fact,
for MK11,
did,
right?
when they were doing the last content.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5.
Okay.
They said when they came out with Luke in the last couple of DLCs, they actually were like, we're working on the next. We're working on the next game.
I feel like every fighting game
that was like year 7 of Street Fighter 5, though, to be fair, right? Like, that was a long time. That game was around for a while.
They will always say the word final patch to when they're saying like the game is going to be shut down and whatnot.
Street Fighter 5 also had the positive spin they could put on it, which was the game was supposed to end with the last season, but we're doing one more season now. So they could present it as, this is the last content, but this wasn't going to exist at all, but we're going to get extended.
That's
so they can put a positive spin on it.
Thing.
Whereas what can Ed Boon do? He can go, he can't go, we're going to end it with before Chaos Reigns, but we're now Chaos Reigns. No, he can't do that. There's nothing there. So all he can do is say, no, the game is still alive, because it technically is still alive until the last content's done. So he can lie,
exactly.
but still not
it'll be alive for the next 2 months.
So let's also talk about the new evidence that's been added to this. And I'm not going to spoil anything for people that don't want leaks, right? But I am going to talk about the evidence that kept coming up around this. The most recent of which is by far the most interesting. But what happens soon after this?
I want to hear it.
So
hold on. Can we put hey, spoiler alert, right now, because I do want to hear it.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I will. If Jordan Dog says something really spoilery,
we can even type it in the chat if you want to. But he leaked the Combat Pack 3 characters already. Like, the leakers canceled.
You want to talk about that?
Never mind. Okay, keep going. Yes, still type it in the chat. I want to see that. But
Combat Pack 3 leak, that may or may not happen here.
Yeah, so essentially, another MK1 insider came out, and said that, oh, this doesn't make sense to me, and he gave the reasons why, and he heard different things, because he was speaking with people who just recently worked at the building. They were not NetherRealm employees, but they were working in the same building. They may have been working alongside them, because that's common for big AAA games to have like side companies come in and work on stuff. So they were working on things, and they said, no, we've heard the game was actually not canceled. Not that they had not heard the cancel rumors, but they had heard, in fact, that the game is not getting canceled. So that's interesting. Now, take it with a grain of salt, because they were not super recently working in the building, but more recently than people would have thought. So like they got some recent info on it. That was cool. Then on top of that, recently, this is the part of the most interesting information of all, is that so the Thinny, right, straight up said that he knows 3 verified insiders. He can't talk about the other 2. Like, he knows the other information about what they've leaked, but he's not wanted to talk about it, even with me in the DMs, which is completely fine. People are kind of on high alert right now. That's why Fate Unknown completely deleted his account, which is why his name is so funny. We don't know what happened to him. Fate is unknown. Yeah. Did NetherRealm find him? We'll never know. The fate is unknown. But because
I have a friend. I have a friend who's a former developer, not anymore, but he worked on the Guitar Hero games, and he was he was actually saying, like, when we were working on the Beatles one, you couldn't even if you whistled like a Beatles song in the elevator, you would get fired. So it was like when we were working on the Metallica one, if you were singing a Metallica song or whistling a Metallica song like in the building, you would be like gone. And they have ways to find it. So it's like I'm sure Fate Unknown was probably found out.
I think Fate Unknown doesn't want to get found. I think that's more likely.
Okay.
Like, that's why he deactivated his account.
We'll talk a bit more about this theory in a little bit, because that's a theory that I had too, but then I saw people like corroborating it. I'm like, oh, it'd be super interesting if that's happening. I don't think that it's a 5-brain play that NetherRealm would do, but if it is happening, that'd be super cool. So here's what the Thinny said, though. All 3 insiders have given different information about who's in Combat Pack 3, and every character is different, except for Jade. Jade is the one consistent one. Otherwise, their Combat Pack 3s are completely different, and they're all never wrong before.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. Here's why. MK11, they waited to the very, 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 very end to give the most popular character in all of MK history, which is everyone you know out. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Melina, the most popular character in MK history, arguably Scorpion and Melina. Okay, so they waited to the very, very, very end to actually do that. Well, why would they have character intros with character dialogue when Countess Jade is in there, when everybody wanted Jade in there, and they mentioned Jade, and then they're not going to put Jade in until the very, very, very end. They're doing the exact same tactic that they did with MK11 with Melina.
Makes sense.
So, makes complete sense.
But that's the crazy part, and this also adds to what Snake was saying, because Snake brought up how Cassie and Jackie look like reused assets in the final chapter of Mortal Kombat 1, which is true, whereas Takeda and Kung Jin look completely different. So that's how you know they're going to be DLC characters. What's interesting is one of the leakers did say that Cassie Cage was going to be in Combat Pack 3, but that's only one of the 3 leakers. So this makes more sense with what I was thinking alongside Snake. Like, really? She's going to be a DLC character? She looks the same. Like, that'd be really weird if she just looked very similar to her MK11 look, but with her MKX head, which is how she kind of looks.
It would have to be a new design, right? If she was
why would that be the case when everyone else's new designs in there?
I thought there were at least some rumors that she was going to be a cameo.
That'd be interesting.
I've heard about that one too.
They don't specify. They don't specify the cameos.
Cassie.
No,
Cassie.
Cassie.
Oh, Cassie.
Yeah, Cassie Cage.
I don't know.
Jackie would be
super weird because we already have Janet Cage. We already have
Jackie
Janet, so that'd be a super weird, cameo. But that's what's super interesting because they're all conflicting.
This stuff Cassie does. That, I mean, Cassie will probably just be like, come out and.
If I hear Janet Cage again, I'm gonna leave.
There's plenty you can do.
We're not talking about her. We're talking Cassie right now. Don't worry.
There's plenty you can do with Cassie that's not just the same.
I was
as what
being
Johnny
sarcastic.
and
I'm not gonna leave.
Janet do.
Commit to the bit. Yeah. No, 100%. Okay, we're good. All right. So that's already interesting, but this has led the Thinny to believe it's very likely that NetherRealm is starting to just do what's called counterintelligence. they're purposely giving fake information. That way the leakers don't know what's real and what's fake. They're like purposely talking about things that aren't true. That way the insiders get fake information. That's the most likely. I was kind of, but this makes, long story short, this makes the Thinny, he said in his own words, like he actually feels confident now that we're getting Combat Pack 3. Because the people who say the game was canceled are the same people that can't agree on who the leaked characters are. So they could just be wrong completely. It could be all rumor. It's all wrong. None of it.
I wish for
adds
once.
up.
I wish for once, just one time, that Ed Boon or someone at NRS, I mean, Tyler, doesn't matter. For one time, be like, hey guys, we heard that there's a rumor going around that it's canceled. It's not canceled.
They should do that. I feel like they really should.
One time, I would love for those guys to be transparent. Just once.
Ed Boom loves his Twitter account. He should be memeing about that.
And that is
canceled or something.
Yeah.
That is one big piece of evidence that it could be canceled. Is that like they haven't said no right away,
dare.
which you think they would. You think they would say that
they
it's
wouldn't
not
say
canceled
anything anyway. They don't do that.
Probably not.
That's just not something they do. But
which once again is bloat. They probably got to get approved by everybody 1,000 times before they can say anything.
Yep.
So here's one more theory that's kind of fun. It's like an Ocean's 11 or whatever you want to call it, kind of like spy movie kind of theory people have. Is that what if NetherRealm purposely only told a small number of employees or close-knit workers that Mortal Kombat 1 was canceled, and now that it's been leaked, they know it's one of those like 5 or 10 people, and they're just finding out who it is, which is
that's
why it's unknown.
Oh gosh,
stuff.
dang it!
Yeah,
Star Wars
and
thing.
that's
That's
why
straight up
different people, that's why different people know about different characters, or so they can go, okay, well, this person was told that it's going to be Jade, Hotaru, Dairu. Okay, so it was them. They leaked it because this person was told it was Jade, Hotaru, and Blaze. So it wasn't them because Blaze isn't out in the rumors yet. I don't think NetherRealm are that smart because they are famously bad at stopping leaks.
Terrible.
I'd love it if they were not doing
So they're
counter
pulling
leaks.
they're pulling a Tyrion Lannister. Is basically what
I heard
they're
that in
doing.
the comments too.
Hey, Game of Thrones, WB property right there.
Yeah, they're totally pulling a Tyrion because
You're referencing season 2, Game of Thrones, right? You're actually talking
yeah,
about
when he
Tyrion's,
became the
plan.
Hand of the King and he told people a bunch of different information, and whatever information actually got out, he's like, oh, that's the guy. Yeah,
That's the spy. That's
the spy.
It's classic strategy. It's been around for a long time. It's a really good way to find people who are like, leaking shit. It's a really
Leaking
clever
things.
strategy. And I didn't even think until Snake pointed it out that that each leaker was told something different, which is how you know immediately which person, not just like, that's even smarter. I didn't even think about that. So that'd be even more, it gives even more credibility.
See,
to this
I always
possibility.
wondered if they put out leaks on purpose because to generate. Yeah, I figured maybe they would put out leaks on purpose to generate hype when WB said no, and so they'd be like, okay, we're gonna leak something so that people will be interested. They'll start talking about it online and get it all like going and stuff like that. And that's what I always thought they would do.
I wish that was true. That could be possible, but that's again, we joke that's giving NetherRealm just way too much credit. But that would be super cool if that's what they were doing. That'd be adorable. That'd be smart because they are kind of relying on YouTubers for marketing. Because outside of the YouTubers, the marketing for these games is pretty atrocious for the most part. Like they could be tweeting every single day about a different thing, and they don't.
MK1's marketing was so weird. I thought it was not good at all. First off, it came out. They announced the game 4 months before the game comes out.
Yeah.
And I hate to break it to you, like maybe the numbers are different, but I can give two shits if what was his name? Batista was in a commercial. I don't care.
True.
Like I don't. I truly do not care that celebrity X voice actress or actor is doing the voice.
Okay.
I don't care about celebrity. To be honest, I wished every single person, every single character in the game was acted by professional voice actors and not Megan Fox. I don't care that Megan Fox, because first off, she's absolute garbage. Second off, I don't care. I don't care if Dave Bautista is doing the commercials. I really don't. You know, I would rather just have like I thought the MK 11 commercials with Katana and Scorpion, that was a dope commercial. That was an awesome commercial. Yeah. So for an MK fan such as myself, now I understand MK is a widely regarded and known, at least in the West, franchise. Yeah. So they're going to use typical use celebrity tactics for their market, and I completely understand that because non-MK fans are still going to buy MK. In fact, majority of their sales probably, I don't know the numbers, but probably are not MK fans. So it makes sense why they would put Megan Fox and use Dave Bautista and use celebrities and these kind of marketing tactics, but just for me personally, I think I speak for a lot of MK fans. We really don't care. It was cooler that Yuri was the voice of Smoke, and that Steve Bloom was Baraka. He was Sub-Zero in the past. It was really, that to me was cool. But yeah. Anyway, Force Snake, you want to say something?
Well, that could have been a way better thing to do. So, like Megan Fox dressed like Queen Elizabeth II is Natara. How about instead of be like, well, here's Steve Bloom talking about how
pink hat. Sorry. Go ahead.
Steve Bloom talking about how his history with MK, his role since MKX, and how this Baraka is different from the previous Baraka. And then you get in other actors, maybe you get in the guy playing Reptile, and he talks about how it's different compared to playing Collector, or like Liu Kang's actor, and he's talking about how I'm still Liu Kang, but he's very different in this game, and talk about that. I think this celebrity focus was to make up for, because I still believe that the game was absolutely rushed out the door because Suicide Squad's delay.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so if that is the case, then any marketing they may have planned was completely thrown into whack, and I think that's why it was such a weird time. Also, why some characters weren't even shown up until the release trailer. Pre-order to get Shang Tsung. Here's the launch trailer, but we finally see Shang Tsung in action. Why wait that long?
In the launch trailer.
Because they would have had more time to show him off, if not for...
And Reiko. Don't forget about Reiko.
Yeah. Everyone forgets about Reiko. But it would have had more time to show off all these characters. It would be funny if the reason they were to put characters in groups was for this reason, because they were going to go, we're going to have a Reptile trailer and another one, and they're like, we can't do that. How about we just Reptile and Ashra, put them in a trailer together with Baraka and this guy, and then end up with some stuff was maybe better than it would have been, but I think a lot of it was harmed by the fact that they clearly rushed the game out to meet a Q4 deadline, so they could actually have more AAA games out that year for the shareholders to go, yes, big game come out, big money, and then Suicide Squad turned out, it wasn't worth it. So
MK did so well though, so in that aspect it worked out for them, even though a lot of people knew that the game had a lot of unfinished things, and it took them like almost a year to make the game more decent in terms of like these content that should have been in there on day one. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me say something that is a correction, because you brought up your suggestion. That's a very cute, wholesome suggestion. I think MK fans would appreciate that. That shit ain't gonna get views or gonna make money.
What's that?
Like, well, having
actors.
more popular voice actors come out to talk about their experiences and their histories and stuff like that. That's a really cute and wholesome thing to do. It ain't gonna get views. Dave Bautista's face on your screen is gonna get views.
Yeah.
And here's an example of similar situation that what you're suggesting, Snake. The Marvel Avengers game. I remember they did that. They're like, here's Troy Baker and all the voice actors here talking about their experience. Yeah, we're gonna do a Marvel game. It's gonna be awesome. I'm pretty sure that video wasn't that successful either.
I kind of disagree a little bit, because currently right now what's getting a lot of views is the voice actors who played in the Arcane season 2. And they're
you mean the Netflix videos, right?
Yeah, and that's getting a lot of views. And they're actually talking. They're actually like, and these aren't like highly regarded actors. They're professional voice actors. Not to say like not to disregard their talent.
Vi's voice actress is a very famous actress, but other than that, yes.
But you get it. The point. Yeah, it was just weird.
Okay, maybe there is more merit to this. Okay.
So I kind of agree with Force Snake. I think it would be really cool that they would talk about the voice actors and actresses and their experiences playing these characters and everything like that. So I think that'd actually be pretty cool.
I have an idea, and I hate that I'm... Go ahead.
Let me just finish this. MK has like great voice acting, except for Megan. But like, I remember when the game came out, we had to do detective work to even find out who voices who. Like
That's
they didn't
true.
even give us a very clear like.
Yeah.
So yeah, this character's gonna voice this character. It's like we were like predicting like, so is this gonna be Homelander's voice actor and stuff like that? Yeah, they really don't give a shit about that stuff, which sucks because MK has great voice acting. Yeah.
I wanted
a bunch of the roles aren't given until Dominic comes out on Twitter and goes, okay, well, Chaos Reigns hit. We had Courtney Taylor in this role, Stephanie Shea in this role, Jameson Price in this role, and that's how we found out who played some of these characters, because some of them played characters very against type. Like Stephanie Shea as Harumi is not the typical kind of thing she would normally play, and her voice does sound quite different from the typical. So for a case like that, we need the credits. The credits just like, here's all the voice actors listed. Like this was a goddamn fucking 2005 Capcom game.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, at least in Street Fighter 6 and in Tekken 8, they straight up announced their character voice actors with the announcement of the game of the characters.
Yeah.
They totally did it with all of them, like every single character. And like, you know, to say your point, it shows how talented these people are. For instance, the Cammy voice actress is American, like not English, and she does a pretty good. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, For Snake. She does a pretty good English accent.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's better than some of her co-stars have done in the past. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So it's really cool, and I think it would do a lot better, you know, as far as that goes, because I don't know, the voice acting from the actual actors instead of the actual professional voice actors was just atrocious, you know.
It's terrible.
For the most part, there are exceptions, you know, like other than
it
Megan
just brings
Fox,
them to light and shows
did a
the
great
things
job.
they put in. And like if we seen Arcane, because Arcane did that too. Arcane did actually shed light and brought these talented voice actors in and everything, and showed them off, and they made it like a point for them to talk about the character and stuff like that. So
yeah.
They could make it even better if they paired the actors up. So it's like, well, here's Scorpion's actor and Sub-Zero's actor, or maybe with Smoke as well. And it's like, well, they're going to talk as a group about their characters and their relationships. Here's Katana and Melina with Sindel's actress, and then here's Baraka, Reptile, Ashra. They're all going to sit here in groups and talk about their characters and their relationships. Maybe, you know, they might spoil something by accident, but you never know. You might get some fun banter out of like Steve Bloom and Andrew Morgado. And Steve Bloom's like, oh yeah, I played Reptile before you.
Yeah, it's not like Dominic Chinchilla hasn't done it already.
Yeah, and everyone dies at the end. Dude! Well, not everyone dies. It's multiverse. It's fine. Dude!
No,
no.
It's kind of like... I forgot what interview it was or what event it was like, but it was really funny. I think it was... they asked about the character, and they said, oh yeah, Dominic Chinchilla goes, oh yeah, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are brothers. And this was before any of the story, anything like that. And you just see Ed, you see Ed Boon just go, like,
bro.
he didn't like lift up his hands. He was just like, he looks over at him like, what are you doing? Like, it was real. I was laughing so hard, dude.
Spoiling one of the big reveals. Yeah. One of the best reactions I saw to that same moment was Eris avoiding the puddle. One of my favorite people to watch react to stuff.
Yeah.
He was funny to watch react to Mortal Kombat 1 too, because he has like typical cynicism towards the series, like a lot of fighting game players that aren't Mortal Kombat fans, right? He's watching it, and he just hears like Scorpion and Sub-Zero are brothers now, and he goes, they're brothers? Like, he's just like so confused, like, what's going on here? Like, why are we doing this? And he's like just laughing pretty good gut laugh out of it, like a good gut laugh. I missed that reveal because I was like commentating over it. So I just totally missed when he said that. But yeah, so here's my idea. And I hate that I'm mentioning this because if it happened, I'd be upset. So since we keep making Game of Thrones references, I feel like Jon Snow, I don't want it. I don't want it. But this would actually do well. If we're talking about voice actors, imagine if they got streamers, like really popular streamers, to voice the character as an option. Yeah. But only ones that are actually good at voice acting. Like, you know, could actually do it. But you know it would do well. You know it would. Like, it would sell. It would get all the Zoomers and millennials excited. Yeah.
Maximilian announcer, done. Easy. Easy money.
But I
meant even bigger than him. I meant like Aiden Ross, XQC. No, could you imagine XQC?
Too far. Go back.
Get over.
Well, they did in Street Fighter 6. They had commentary.
That's right.
They did have commentary. Like, like, I don't know how it's like auto
During the
commentary
match?
from. Yeah,
Was Snoop Dogg in there? I forgot.
He was in
Am I-
one of the
No.
Tekkens and one of the CODs.
He was in Tekken.
Tekken. Gotcha. I was thinking like, where was he?
I could see them getting a streamer to do the voice for Cassie if they make being a streamer her gimmick
Stop.
in the new timeline.
Oh yeah,
Stop
Snake keeps trying to make
manifesting this,
happen.
Snake.
Yeah, Snake is
Stop
trying to
every
manifest
episode.
this.
You bring
not
up
my
streamer
fault.
Cassie Cage.
Come on, you can tell. It's
you're
going
gonna
to
turn
happen.
you're basically turning Cassie Cage into the Lucky Chloe of Mortal Kombat, essentially.
No,
Lucky
I'm turning her into the
Chloe.
Julia Chang of
Oh my
Mortal
God.
Kombat. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
you're
this
right,
is your
Julia
fault
Chang.
that Lawless exists in Suicide Squad, like Kill the Justice League, because she's
Oh,
like a
God.
total like streamer like type character. It's maybe your fault, Snake, because you keep bringing up Cassie Cage being a streamer. They're both WB.
I mean, it would be
Yeah.
really funny though if Cassie during like a finish him or finish her, like a stream camera appears and she's just there looking at the camera while you're doing your inputs, going, "What do you think, chat? Should I finish him? Should I finish him? W or L? L W?"
To be fair though, I think that's a Johnny thing. Like he
I
kind
will
of,
say-
like he's all about Instagram as well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The
Like,
one
the
really cute
setup's
thing-
already there. Of course, his daughter
Yeah.
would be an influencer. She'd have her own.
The one
her own,
really-
she'd have
She's
her own
probably
clothing
not
line
gonna
at
be.
age 5.
She is probably not gonna be his daughter in this, though.
True.
That's the
True.
problem.
Or
Maybe.
she is, she's like a
Probably
time
be a
traveler from a different reality who's also a streamer. She's a streamer who streams to the existing timeline that she's from. Like she goes to different realms, like timeline streams, and she streams that new era.
Yeah, and like you can see archives. You know, like how you had the friendships thing in one of her fatalities in MKX, and it's like Facebook, and it's like here's all the comments, here's all of her like stream archives, and one's like, my father is a woman in this timeline, and she's like pogging out on the thumbnail.
Poggy.
God, you could do some really funny stuff with it.
If we take this realistically, one really cute thing that could come from her being the streamer is that for the intro, you know, they always get knocked back if they're the one that doesn't have the last say, right? Or they get the last say, they get knocked back. Imagine the second she gets knocked back, it just changes angles and she flies backward, hits the camera that's like recording her a little bit, and gets up, and like readjusts it to be correct, and is like, and then
Yeah.
the match starts. That'd be actually really cute.
What's the guy in Street Fighter 6?
Rashid.
DLC?
Rashid.
Rashid with his camera. I do
And he,
love
like,
that.
with
Like the
the-
ending where he has like,
Yeah.
shit, my camera.
No,
Yeah.
she'll be holding her phone up against the opponent's face during the clash part. Then she gets knocked out of her hand. She's lifting it up, like checking it, and like you see it from its perspective. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Game on.
Guys, stop making this charming. It's supposed to be cringe.
The thing is, I
Cute,
do
though,
think
done
that
correctly.
there is a chance that Cassie could still be Johnny's daughter, because
Oh, she totally can. I was just saying she couldn't
Yeah,
be.
but
She
because-
could possibly not be.
Because keep in mind, outside of intros and his ending, like there's nothing to suggest Takeda is canonically Kenshi's cousin, because he has no story
Oh, no.
presence. The only Takeda that shows up in the story is the one
Nope.
from Havoc's timeline, and he calls Kenshi father. So it could
Yep.
just be some weird thing they've done, but they've not committed to it enough that they can't take it away and go, no, he's his son. We're going to do some time travel bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
It's harder now to decommit to it since it's in the arcade ending, it's in the bio, it's in the intro dialogues. You know, now it's like way more harder to commit. But then it's like, we can just. Have they retconned something so horribly bad in the same game like that much? You know, like it's in the bios already, but then it's like, actually,
I think in
I feel
MK11 they had a
like
few of
most of-
those. Yeah, I
Like,
think in
but that's
MK11 they had a
MK11
few
between
of
MK.
those.
Oh yeah, well,
so
there's at least an intro where Nightwolf says, "Raiden destroyed my Revenant," and it's like, well, he didn't. He's just there in the expansion.
true. There
Yeah.
is a couple intro dialogues that are just lies, and there is
Devorah
some
says
in
that
the,
she
even in
killed
this game,
Jared,
too.
and then you know Sindel did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghostface kills a lot of characters in the intro dialogues and stuff.
I think Devorah got to a point where she was like, oh, that was because of me. That was my like.
She was
Oh
the
yes,
Undertaker.
who is the Jared killer? Basically,
Like she didn't
Devorah,
actually
Shao,
do it.
Sindel.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of like someone saying, you know, oh, they put this fatality in the game because I made a video about it. Oh, that's totally on me. Like it's kind of like that. You know.
Yeah, one time I farted in
bad.
the office, and that's
Like-
why Bo Right Show farts. Because I farted in the office,
bad,
and everyone
guys.
wanted to make fun of
bad.
me.
I know. I threw up one. Yeah. I got really drunk and threw up one time. That's why. Yeah, that's why, bro. Rich. I remember I made a joke in the Discord one time, and it's like the way that Mortal Kombat. I forgot which. I'm forgetting all these content creators' names now, but it was an old Mortal Kombat content creator from like back in MKX, and I was like, dude, this person would see like oh, I went into 7-Eleven and I saw a Xiaomi cart and I heard that Ed Boon bought a red scarf from Target one time. Therefore, Ermac is confirmed. Like,
Oh yeah, there was this one guy who was like for MK11 just lying all the time, which is hilarious because he never got much traction. Like he had his little small community. He was also probably bigger than that Voldemort OG we were making fun of earlier, but this guy never got very much traction, which is proof that clickbaiting and just lying to people will not actually grow you an audience, as much as my haters want to pretend that's what works. But all that aside,
when you're growing an audience, just to forewarn anybody, like when you're growing an audience, just to let you know, no one cares about you. They care about your content. That's
90%
what they care.
of the time.
They
Yes,
don't.
90%
Yeah,
of the time.
you can build up an audience when I would say when you at least hit like 100K subscribers, then you can start doing, like stuff like that. But like for the most part, no one really cares about you. So kind of a hard realistic thing to feed to anybody who wants to start creating content.
Yeah,
but it's true. Yeah,
you can be faceless for a good portion before you finally, show your face if you want to. It just depends. But no, that's good advice. That's good advice.
And like Dog said, clickbait won't get you views. Clickbait will get that you clicked, but YouTube doesn't like that. YouTube likes retention. They like you
they don't
watching
count unless
the
they stay
video.
around for a while. Which, just so my haters know, my average view duration is always more than half my video's length. So sorry, they're staying when they click. They're not getting tricked. They're not getting deceived. Sorry. Yeah. They actually click.
They
know it's my video.
Down there?
They know by the format that it's my videos when they click on it. They know what they're
And also, like, that is another thing, too, is I had one, a friend of mine who is also another content creator. I created this video. Have you ever created a video and you're like, dude, this is like the best video I've ever created. I put so much time and effort into this. And then you put it out and it's getting like a third of yeah. And so, and then that was the other thing too. Is if I was to give any advice, it's meet people who create content and ask them how they do it, because people are very more than welcome to give you advice, and to help you out. And so this guy looked at my video and he goes, "This is a fantastic video. Your intro is like 30 seconds too long. You literally get rid of the intro." And then I got rid of the intro. Everyone started watching. Like people were watching like 3/4 of the video, and I was like, "Oh, it's sweet," So, that's
the first 30 seconds of your video is very important. Like
extremely
you
important.
Need a good intro. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm blowing up this hospital to one lucky viewer. Keep watching to see.
Yeah.
It's a Mr. Beast format. Yell at your audience. That's also, I guess, a good tip. I guess to end this one topic
Show your
about
hands.
I do that. I took that to heart. I do the hand motions, but real quick to end this topic before we go on to the next one, because there's still another topic probably to cover maybe. For Mortal Kombat 1 being canceled, I just want to know y'all's personal opinion. At this point in time, how do you feel? Is it canceled, or do you think it's not canceled? Just your own personal opinion.
I was gonna bring that up too. Like, talk about how you feel about this or how it affects you. Yeah. So I'm glad you did that, Dog.
Yeah.
I
did.
I can give I can start off here. So I have two sides of feeling about this opinion. On one hand, for me and my content, I'm not the kind of guy who uploads daily, so I'm not like affected by I can't find anything else to make and that kind of stuff, because I really just take a lot of time working on a video anyways. And in a sort of way, there's a sense of like a very small sense of relief for me, because I've been making like videos on every single chapter of the story mode in Mortal Kombat 1. Mm-hmm. So knowing that there is a finish line for me, there is at least like, okay, at least I know where I need to make it so that I can end my series, is semi-relieving. And it's not going to affect my content too much because of that. If the game just tells me tomorrow, like, we're done, and I'll be like, okay, I still got about a year's content worth of making because I put a lot of effort into like each of my videos. On another hand, do you really mean to fucking tell me this game ends on that shitty Chaos Reigns ending? Like, that's how you're going to fucking end your game? I can't accept that shit. Like, I really need them to redeem themselves or give me a part 3 to at least really wrap up Mortal Kombat 1 story. Like, say what you want about Aftermath. That at least gives
Aftermath
like
was pretty good.
Gives
Not gonna lie, it wasn't that bad. So
There are things I enjoy about
Was
it too.
it that bad, Shred?
That bad. It is
3 out of 5
could have been
stars.
better,
Wasn't
but
that bad?
It wasn't. Yeah.
But the ending of Aftermath was so important and integral to the next game. What the fuck is so important about, we defeated Titan, Havoc, Sub-Zero's Noob Saibot now, okay.
Yeah.
And?
Well,
it's like, I hate that as an ending, because if that is the way this ends, I will shit talk MK1 for the rest of my life or some shit. I don't know. I just find that to be, like, I need them to be doing a redemption arc. From a story perspective. Gameplay, I'll let you guys talk about it. From a story perspective, Chaos Reigns as the ending, whew, like, please, redeem yourself.
see, to me, I suspect that the intention was always with this game to have multiple expansions, and that's why this one was so shared idea Lin Kuei focused. It narrows the scope to this small group of characters, because that's what the character they wanted to focus on. And so I suspect... why is Jade so consistently being brought up as part of the next pack? Because the next one would be Outworld focused. It would be about the war against General Shao. Probably some other timeline gets involved. Maybe Shao's trying to get power from a Shao Kahn or something. Bring it, but focusing on the Outworld cast, who only had a small appearance in this one. And so that would be the focus there. Whereas Aftermath was very much planned as the one thing. Like, it was always going to be the one story expansion, so it gets to be the next big thing, whereas this is more of an episodic thing. So it's like small arcs of a series rather than like the next big movie, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So obviously it would suck if it got cut short, and then they're like, oh well, I guess we can cram all the Shao stuff into the next game. And put in all these guys that Shao was going to form. Come on, Shao forming alliances with other realms. It makes more sense to set that up here as a small expansion than just be like, oh yeah, that happened off screen between games in the expansion we never got to release.
Let me add something to you, Snake, here.
Goes?
There's a huge reason why I also want a third expansion story, because there is such a high chance that the next game is just going to be another reboot. It's so high. There are so many people complaining about the story mode. There are so many people just being like, give us OG MK. So it's like, if you got one last chance
Can I go
to
next?
prove to me about this universe or some shit, or even if you don't, give me one last closure thing about this universe. Because if we're just going to go next and be like, fuck all these things we set up in the arcade ending, fuck all these character developments, like, Katana, do you like her? Well, she got shit due in this, like, universe. Smoke too. Like, you got one last chance, and we don't get that, and we just reset the universe. That is terrible.
True.
Yeah. So my honest opinion is, release what you have, go back to the drawing board, start again.
Right? Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel.
I agree with that. I 100% agree. They need a reset.
First off, get rid of the timeline realm. Like, get rid of the whole timeline bullshit. Like, get rid of all of it. That is I like the one biggest thing that people hated about MK11 was the timelines thing, and then we go into the next one, then there's timelines. Literally, MK1 story was fantastic up until the third act, when it was great, and followed up with one of the best endings. By the way, I thought it was a fantastic ending. And I did. The MK1 ending was great with Liu Kang walking off. Oh, the realm is in good hands. You know, that thing. I was like, this is awesome. This is great. You know, let's lead on to the next chapter in the story and everything. And that's great. And then the whole Chaos Realm came in, and I agree with Snake. I think it was intended to be probably like a 6-parter or something like that. It was probably going to be a bunch of different realms and everything, and or different timelines or whatever with different titans. And I don't like it particularly, but if it was my opinion, I would release whatever you have and go back to the drawing board and start again and do a reboot for the next time and return back to form. And I think that we are also seeing, especially with releases such as like Stellar Blade and other games like that, I see a lot of in the gaming industry, a lot of return to form of what gaming kind of used to be. And games like Nier Automata, Stellar Blade, and also fighting games like I think Street Fighter 6 and Tekken has its own issues, but I see a lot of games being like return to form. And so I think they should go back to the drawing board, because gaming culture is going to be a lot different in the next 4 years. So if
Yeah.
if they take the next 4 years, and release what they have, and go back to the drawing board and start again, I think we're probably going to get a much better Mortal Kombat without timelines and a cameo system, for one. Or not for one, but yeah, I didn't like the cameo system. I didn't like the timelines. I thought the character designs and everything were pretty well done, and the art style was really, or not. I'm sorry, make the game a fantasy game again. That was another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't need realism. Yeah. Can we go back to like fantasy characters? Again, that was.
I really don't need realism. Yeah.
I don't like realism. I would
go
make
back
a joke.
to MK9 and X. Like, I really don't mind that.
MKX was perfect. I thought MKX was fantastic. That was great. But
you
even
like
go back
the
to
oiled up bodies. Okay.
Yeah, go back to the 3D era too, dude. Like, go back to the 3D era where dude, it was like all everything was just fantasy. It's a video game. Make it a video game. I don't need realism. I don't want realism. So yeah, I think that if the rumors, if I was to make any decisions for them, or what I would like them to do is is release what you have, go back to the drawing board and start again, is what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's
with
great.
all that said, I'm glad to hear all y'all's thoughts. I'm not quite sure you gave me the answer to the question, so I'm just going to call on you. I just want a yes or no.
Sorry.
Is Mortal Kombat 1 canceled Sonic?
I want to believe it. I want to say no. I want to believe in KP3.
Oh, so you don't think it's canceled? Gotcha. Yes. So no means not
Yes,
canceled.
that's
Yes
what I
means
mean.
it is canceled. Okay. Fourth Snake.
It's tough to say. It really is, because
Okay,
I could
that's
see
fair,
it going
but-
either way. I can say
Yeah,
what
of
I
course.
want. I want it to keep going. But the problem is, because Warner Bros are the ones in charge, you can't even say so much has been invested already. It will be foolish to stop now, because it's
Yeah.
Warner Bros. They've made these stupid decisions before.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards no at the minute, but I'm not willing to put money
Gotcha.
down that either way.
Sure.
Can I
Okay.
interject something here? Just want to interject this. Snake, did you ever say your opinion? Because you just talked
I did
about
not.
like. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you did. I totally thought you
Oh,
did.
sorry.
He just
My
talked
bad,
about
me too.
like the idea of what could have been, but yeah, he didn't really say
Okay.
like how he felt.
Go for it.
I mean, all I really have to say is kind of even unrelated almost, is that I predict that what they're going to do, either in an expansion or in the sequel, is just do a big, massive multiverse cataclysm, basically Crisis on Infinite Earths. Everything gets condensed down to one timeline, and then it's like, okay, this one timeline has aspects of various timelines, so now we can pick and choose what did work in M1K, like, oh, Reptile stuff, maybe people like that, carry that over. People didn't like Hua Liang being Scorpion, so Scorpion Sub-Zero going
Bye-bye.
to revert to their classic things. Raiden probably going to be a god again. Liu Kang maybe stick around as a god. I don't think people really complain about him being a god. But I feel like what they're going to do is kind of pick what the best parts of each, or what they think are the best parts of each. Whether or not that actually is agreed upon with the fans, I don't know, but I think that's what
True.
they're going to do. As far as whether or not the
Interesting.
game's cancelled, I don't want it to be cancelled. I want it to keep going, make this the biggest MK they've ever done, live up to the promises and the hype. But at the same time, there are some fundamental problems with the way the game works, and I'm torn between wanting them to fix those things and wanting them to just cut their losses and start fresh with a new system where they can very easily make it better. So I'm very much torn.
All right.
Let me just add something with Snake. Maximilian dude made a video about this. He made a really good point, which is Street Fighter V on release sucked ass. That game got good because of 7 years of content. So MK1, like, if given more time, could be fleshing out and like can fix a lot of its problems. It ain't gonna fix it. It's gonna just cancel it like right now.
Can I say something about that though?
Yeah.
We're looking. I don't think you can compare the two games, because Mortal Kombat.
Of course, yeah.
Here's why: Street Fighter is reliant on its competitive scene. Is 100% a competitive game. and that's what people rely on is the Street Fighter League, Capcom Cup, all the different the majors that people do and everything. Mortal Kombat is not that at all. Mortal Kombat is blood, gore, sex. It's all the things that gave it the ESRP rating that it has. So I don't think you can really like compare the two, because Street Fighter 5 had to fix a lot of issues that it had, but it fixed all those issues so it can be a better competitive game, versus Mortal Kombat has to fix a lot of issues so it can be more geared towards a wider audience of people that want to play Mortal Kombat, not competitive Mortal Kombat. So
that's a good point.
Yeah,
I'd say MK is kind of the single player's fighting game.
It is.
Whereas others, like the Japanese ones, put a lot more focus on the competitive stuff, and so what Street Fighter gets is stuff for the multiplayer angle. So it's like new characters get added, that goes to the competitive stuff. Whereas with MK, they're not really servicing the single player people outside of the big expansions. Like single player people have nothing to look forward to, and that is probably the biggest portion of the fan base.
Invasions.
Yeah, so I do think that MK historically has always gone like new one every 4 years in the NetherRealm era. So I don't see it getting a bunch of years. I feel like we're probably going to get 2, maybe 3 years of content and then leave. I don't think there'll be enough time there to make it like the great game it has the potential
MK
to be.
Great again.
So I do agree that you can't really compare it and Japanese fighters all that closely, because they have vastly different markets. Really.
MK for a long time has, I think probably since MKX, has had a weird identity crisis, because it's a single player game. It's a single player fighting game that has competitive fighting game mechanics. It's not like it was during the 3D era, or even the 2D era, or the midway era. So in the 3D era is very based on it revolved around the story, but also martial arts and all that different kind of stuff. But it's like it wasn't a competitive fighter. I think Ed Boon in an interview one time said like, this is not a competitive fighter if you're looking at the wrong game. This is to beat up your opponent and finish him off and like gruesome fatalities and whatnot. So versus
oddly enough,
now go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to say, oddly enough, they focused more on the competitive aspect with MK versus DC. Believe it or not, that you can see when that game is being played, it's way more competitive. It's got more of the potential for like depth and understanding and like matchup knowledge and all that. And that's what did worse. Like it performed worse in the game that relied more on all the single player content. So yeah, I'm supporting what you're saying. Yeah.
So I really think in the next game that they look at games like MK3 and MKX and MK9 as well, and maybe like try to look back at what like MK really was and what drew people to it, because MK9 was its revitalization and then MKX was its retention, and then MK11 did so well because of those previous 2 games. I mean, I would suspect so, but then MK1 came out and it was a big disappointment. And so I'd like to see them look at why UMK3 was so beloved and why MK9 and MKX were such beloved games, And don't look at numbers. That's the other thing too, is MK11 has sold more copies than any other fighting game in history. Well, besides Street Fighter 2. So it's like you look at those numbers, but was it actually a really good game?
No, I think, I mean, this is a tiny topic, but I think it was a bit of the lockdown bump. Like everyone bought more games when they're in lockdown. That could have been a huge reason why that I think is worth discussing more like in the future conversations. Not the podcast in particular, but just like on forums and stuff. I do think that contributed. Like everyone was stuck at home. Everyone bought more games during the lockdown period. So that could have been also a big boost. I think if you switched it around, you would have seen similar... Go ahead.
One contradiction to that is MK11 came out in 2019, lockdown was 2020. So
I'm
combining
all the sales.
Yeah, Aftermath and Ultimate. Because that really huge better, number, I feel like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Ultimate's what got all the awards too. Because MK11 was a very incomplete game when it came out. You couldn't even use variations in Combat League or in the
They
in the
limited
tournaments.
that, yes.
Yeah, they only had 2. They added 3 later, but you still couldn't do what the game was clearly initially designed for, which is like build your character with whatever moves you want. It was clearly designed with that in mind. I know this for a fact because at the early playtest events, we were allowed to do that. We were told to do that. If it was like locked into variations, that would have been there at the reveal event, and it wasn't. There was no variations. It was just build your set, like do it. So that was clearly the intended design. We didn't get that until like what? Over a year, maybe 2 years into the game, we finally got like you can do your own variations in competitive, whether it be tournaments or Combat League. So similar situation. Everyone liked Ultimate way more than 11, which is why Ultimate got all the awards and the and I think even got sold more. So,
cool.
But yeah, I was going to end by saying I think if you switch the situations and had MK1 come out during lockdown and MK11 come out after, I think you would have seen a similar set of numbers. Like MK1 would have sold better, MK11 would have been like, why is it not selling as well? And it's like, well, because like the circumstances.
I do feel like MK11 also had a better casual approach, whether it be the gameplay or even like
and just no cameos. Everyone hates the cameos apparently.
True. But also, Dog, you were asking Shred the ultimate question.
The ultimate question, Shred. Is Mortal Kombat 1 canceled? Yes or no?
Totally forgot about that.
we loop around. We loop around.
No, but it wouldn't surprise me if it did.
Yeah. I feel like in between with Snake. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I don't think it has, but WB has a history of just canceling things.
Oh, yeah.
Just throwing things out.
By Onslaught.
Yeah.
Did WB make a Borderlands movie or not?
Lionsgate.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Never mind.
That's not,
I was going to add one more thing on the pile of like how they never know what to cancel.
They did release Joker 2, though. Haha.
True. They did do that. And they were banking on that doing well is the hilarious part, because that's why they gave it way more money than before. So yeah, I'm going to say I agree with what Snake, I'm in the middle of what Snake and Shred said. Like, I want to believe it's going to keep going. I'm leaning more towards that it's not canceled, but I would not be shocked if WB would do something this foolish and just go, do a whole new one. I spent too much time off my yacht and I'm getting irritable. Just do this thing. What? You think I'm wrong? You think I'm out of touch? If I was wrong, could I afford this yacht?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yes. Because
I think we all kind of agree in that case.
It's so weird because every time you think like, oh, they should totally do this or they're going to do this, you know? And then you got to think, oh, they don't do it. You know, like for instance, the next game, I think all 4 of us would be in agreement that like the next game should be a reboot. We would like for them to start again. Would all of us agree on that or no?
Yeah. Either you do that or you do like a MK. Yeah, you either do a reboot or you merge it like into an existing game that everyone already loves. Like you pretty much make MKX 2, like, you know, Final Fantasy 10 MKX 2. So they merge into the MKX realm,
which is what
updated
Snake
graphics.
Said, right?
Yeah. And you keep a couple of new characters. You keep a couple of new characters that people like from MK11. Like maybe Garrus is still there, and like, you know, someone else. And you just merge them in, and it's like, how did we end up in this new timeline? That crappy hip-hop music plays from MKX, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are fighting in the background. And it's like, whoa, how are they running? What is this new ability we've never had in these games? How are they running? Is that a run mechanic? And
the thing is, it wouldn't even be that. It's not even difficult to reboot it without like just disrupting, throwing everything out. Because all you need to do is go, okay, here's an expansion. We're going to have like one big last hurrah with this timeline and end it with like, okay, Liu Kang's made his timeline. The bad stuff is mostly over, you know, General Shao's been killed, whatever, his followers, all those evil plots are foiled. There's still some rebuilding to do, like with Sado, but things are mostly on the up and up, things are going well. And then we leave him, his story is over, we go to a new universe in the multiverse, but keep it mostly isolated and only do multiverse stuff occasionally, like, oh, maybe we don't want to turn Bihan into Noob Saibot this time. Well, a Noob Saibot from another timeline can show up or something, or you can just reinvent the concept, you know? You can just try new things or keep things more classic based on what people have liked and not liked so far, but Liu Kang's story can end on a satisfying note if they want to do that, which I think would be better than getting rid of the multiverse entirely, because there is potential with the multiverse. They've just gone about it entirely the wrong way currently.
Absolutely.
Just get rid of the whole thing altogether. Just make it one.
Just stop it. Yeah.
Just stop. Like, it's so dumb. I'm sorry, but like, it's timelines and multiverses. It's done. It's overplayed. I don't want to do that. Like, everything was great up and even in MK9 when he sent back to the past. At least he was going like not a new timeline. He was just sending a message to the past.
Yeah.
To change the future.
Yeah. But true. You know what's also funny? They could pull a Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's gosh dang it, dude. But
because Tekken is the only series that didn't ever do any like shenanigans like that. Every Tekken game has been chronologically after the previous one, with the exception of spin-off games like Tekken Tag, right? Which is why they got that award for like longest running continuing story. Street Fighter never rebooted or anything for the most part, but they did have shenanigans where like, oh, Street Fighter 4 is named 4, but it's actually before 3, and Alpha is technically the third game of the series, but it came before 2, so it's still like it's like Kingdom Hearts level of timeline here.
Doesn't Street Fighter 6 take place after Street Fighter 4?
After 3 even,
after 3.
Finally.
It's the newest one. It's like actually moving forward.
It's,
3 has always been the newest
it's
one.
One Alpha,
which you wouldn't know that by the roster.
5, 3.
Oh yeah.
Other bits of 5 come after 3, then 6.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, so Street Fighter 6 does take place after Street Fighter 5.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So Chun-Li and Ryu actually age. Wow.
My point was that NetherRealm didn't have to reboot it in the first place. What they could have done is just said, oh, this new game takes place in that like 10, 15 year gap between the start and middle of Mortal Kombat X. This game takes place in that period, and that could have been its own game. Ooh. They could have done that. You don't have to reboot it, NetherRealm. You could just have a game that takes place in a different point in time. You don't have to literally reboot it and start from scratch. Now, one final idea I have, which I think would be kind of neat, if they want the next game to be full-on tag, because people have shown interest in that, you could have the new era.
Who has shown interest in that?
A lot of people,
tag team, a lot of people.
They like the tag.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Looks like Shred has an opinion.
I don't. I don't like the tag system at all. I think it's freaking dumb. I think they tried and it was a good idea, but executed poorly. In which case, every single cameo fighter that they have on there should have just been a single player main roster. That's
gotcha.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Here's my $1 million idea, NetherRealm. It's yours for free. You can take it from me. I will not sue or be like, oh, that was my idea. No, I'll shut up about it. I will go full NDA and pretend it was your idea. Here you go. You make a tag game if you want to do that. Make it like Tekken Tag, where it's a completely non-canon game, and you can include characters that have been in all of your recent games. So if you want to throw Devora in there, even though she's technically in the second timeline, go for it. If you want to throw in the new era characters, put one of them in there too, or just have them be a skin. Like you can play as MK1 Sub-Zero, even though it's MK, original Sub-Zero by default. Fine. Or have Bihan be his own character, but it's Bihan from this new timeline, or Kuai Liang from the previous timeline. Like they're both on the roster, right? That could be cool. Same with the Scorpions, because everyone's going to want to rock Scorpion and Sub. So if you want to do that, but it's not possible to have two of the same character, normally that's how you do it.
Isn't that what they kind of tried to do with this one?
Well, even with Tekken Tag 2, they were doing that. In Tekken Tag 2, they had a bunch of clone characters.
Not Tekken Tag. I'm talking about like because whenever they did the dialogue, it's like if you had Katana versus Katana, they would be like, "Oh, in my timeline this, no, in my timeline that." Like, or
but this is actually bringing in like classic characters and like Deception Melina and MK9 Melina and that kind of stuff. That's what Dog is suggesting more.
Oh,
and then
almost
just
like a
for
MOBA.
Fun, the story mode. Well, it still plays it still plays just like Tekken Tag. It's still a tag game, but I'm just saying that you could include characters from MK11, MKX, MK9, or MK1. Like just pick and choose who you want from those different games. And then and it's not canon, so the story can just be a fun idea of what would happen if all three of these realms for some reason merged. So it's kind of like MK versus DC, where the stage is split down the middle on some levels, and it's like, here's how Outworld looks in MK1 versus how Outworld looked in the original timeline, and in the middle it's split. That'd be pretty fucking sick. You can't tell me that wouldn't be cool. You have Sindel and her throne on one side, and Shao and his throne on his side, and they're just kind of like staring at each other while you're fighting. Be fucking sick. I'm just saying, that's my idea.
You want to know? Chota Dog, that sounds like a great idea, and do you want to know what will ruin it? That sounds like a mobile game.
Damn. Sounds like
In
Onslaught.
fact, that's almost kinda Onslaught.
Almost kinda.
Right, Snake? With the different versions of MK1 Scorpion merging with classic Scorpion.
Do they actually merge though?
Classic. No,
Or
they
are
don't
they just
merge.
there
But there's
without
like
explanation?
They meet
there's
each
a
other.
non-canon mission, non-canon stories
Yeah.
in Onslaught
Yeah.
with the different MK1 versions of characters showing up there. Like MK1
Yeah, you can say
Shang
it's
Tsung and
similar in
MK11
story,
Shang
but the
Tsung.
gameplay is completely different, which at the end of the day is going to
Yes,
be
that's
a
what I
big
mean.
deal.
It's like
yeah.
that just sounds like a mobile game for them, unfortunately. As great as it would be.
Well, it would do great as a fighting game. People would buy the crap out of it. And then just
I
so
would buy it. That
NetherRealm,
sounds fun.
one final tip, NetherRealm. There has to be a 1v1 mode, not for just local, also for ranked. So you can do ranked 2v2, or you can do ranked 1v1, and they each have their own combat league with the same rewards if you want, same ranking. That way people shut the fuck up and just they have their version, okay? They can stop saying a year after the game's out, like, remove this, delete this aspect. They're not going to delete it, people. They're not going to remove cameos from the game. Stop asking for that. It's never going to happen. You can ask for a 1v1. That's possible. But you can't ask that they're just deleted from the game. It's never going to happen. Like that's stupid. So sorry. That's my soapbox.
Go ahead, Shred.
Yeah.
I have a feeling, and I think that the next Mortal Kombat game is going to be a 3D fighter.
That'd be fine.
Let's go! Woo!
Here's why.
I don't think they have
Tekken-
the skill, but it'd be cool.
Tekken is literally the only 3D fighter on the market right now. There's no other active 3D fighters out there that people are actively playing, other than like niche groups and stuff. So I don't see anybody playing like Soul Calibur, DOA, or any of those
Virtua
games.
Fighter's getting a new game.
Yeah,
It's true.
And the reason why I don't
Who
think
does
that people are going to go to tag, why Mortal Kombat would not do a tag again is because 2XKO is about to come out, and then probably by the time that they do create another game, Marvel 4 will have come out.
Ooh, you think they're making a Marvel 4 now?
Oh yeah, it's most definitely. I think they are
Heck
going
yeah.
to. If not now, they are going to in the future. You know.
Yeah.
So I think there's too many tag fighters that are coming out right now, and that with how popular Tekken 8 has been, I think it's very possible that they want to fill that. And by the way, I think Harada has actually said, "Hey, there was a time when Mortal Kombat made a 3D fighter. I think they should do that again."
Oh, you did? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, but I would like to see in the future. I think the next game, because of course, Mortal Kombat has no problem trying new things.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, shoot. In the past 4 games, MK9 and MKX,
Plus
you could argue were
Injustice.
similar. But MK11 also, it was single, but it was a lot slower than it was in the past, and it evolved over time. Now we're having a tag fighter. Throughout the 3D era is the 3D era, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't think they have a problem trying new things, but I suspect that in the future that the next game is probably going to be a 3D fighter.
That would be fun. I just worry for them because they're literally going to be competing with Tekken, which, like,
You need competition.
That's-
Competition
sure,
is
but
necessary.
pretty high bar.
You say that,
Competition
but
is absolutely necessary.
as a 2D fighter, they're competing with Street Fighter, which is arguably a higher hurdle.
Yeah,
So
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
And all the other 2D fighters there's no 3D fighters
Yeah.
that are out. And there's about to be
Yeah.
more 2D fighters that are tag fighters as well. So I would, if I was to make any call, I'd be like, hey, Boone, I think the next one should be a 3D fighter, bro. So, yeah.
Okay, another one of these mosquitoes.
And maybe I'm just biased because I'm a Tekken fan.
and then the next one's going to
I
be
mean,
called.
hey, I love my experience grinding Tekken 2.
then
I got to red rank because of your purple rank tweet, by the way.
MK13 is going to be called Mortal Kombat 1 3D. That way they have 13 in it, and it ties back to M1K, but it's also saying it's 3D.
That's dope. That is cool. That is really cool.
MK1 3D.
That is, yeah, that's a good idea. MK1,
MK1
3D, yeah.
That's cute. It's very cute.
Yeah. Also, just throwing this out there, but another cute thing about making the next game a tag game is you could call it like Mortal Kombat 2, and it'd be like a double entendre because it's 2v2.
Are they really? If they call it Mortal Kombat 2, I will slam my monitor. I'll be like,
Oh, imagine they call it Mortal Kombat.
Dude, they called
Cross
it Mortal
2.
Kombat 1. It's Mortal Kombat 12.
yes,
True.
That's what I mean. It's like if they do that again, because I'm really getting sick
again.
of these names.
No, it's Mortal
missed
1
That's what I mean.
Combat.
That's why I
Get it
want to
right.
slam my monitor
Get it
if they
right.
call it
It's
MK2.
Mortal
I'm
1
just like,
Combat.
Mortal 1 Kombat.
what's the movie coming
That's
out
what
next year
Snake
going to be
said.
called? If it's actually going to be called Mortal Kombat 2,
Yeah,
I'll be,
it is.
That's
Yeah.
the unofficial name.
Well, the original one's not
without
called
the
2. It's called Annihilation, so 2 is not taken.
I'm waiting for that trailer, and then we'll be sure.
Okay. I mean, I'm still mad that they called it Mortal Kombat 1. I get it was a marketing thing, but calling it just like Mortal Kombat Rebirth or something would have been way better. Or just Mortal Kombat
Absolutely.
New Era would have been like far better. And if the game is canceled, it's going to be hilarious because then we're going to look back on this 10 years from now. We're all going to be in our 40s, and we're going to be like, remember that red-headed stepchild when they tried to do the whole thing themselves without Tobias? Man, that fucking sucked. Remember when they made Sub-Zero and Scorpion brothers and it was really dumb? Remember Megan Fox being Natara? That was dumb. Remember when Havoc was Dyro? That was so silly.
I do.
Sounds like Santa.
I do pray for the day when I can say, back in my day, Mortal Kombat was terrible.
Yes.
Not like
Pray
it is
for that
now.
day, Snake. Pray for that day. Yeah.
Back in my
Like
day.
Mortal Kombat it's like the brand champion of fighting games. I don't know if you guys have you guys
Brand
seen
champion.
like Champion, the brand. Do you remember Champion? No? Oh gosh dang it, nobody. It was popular there for
Sorry,
a second.
man.
Yeah. No, it was like a lot of
Supreme.
like a lot of kids were wearing the brand Champion.
Okay, I know this brand. Yeah, no.
Okay, so they're wearing the clothes Champion, and back in the 90s, that was the cheap person brand. That was the brand that you bought when you didn't have enough money to buy Nike or Adidas or whatever like that. So it's like that's one of those things where I look back and I'm like, dang, everybody's wearing Champion now. Back in my day, that was the cheap stuff. That was like what you wore when you're like you couldn't afford the other stuff.
True.
Sort of good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
over here we had Reebok for that.
Oh, was Reebok the cheap brand back in the day?
Yeah. Over here it was.
Oh,
I had Reebok.
are we still recording the episode, by the way, or no? We just said
we can end. We had a great discussion. I felt like this last hour was a really deep and thoughtful discussion, which I really appreciate. But yeah, we can end the episode. How do we want to end this?
Yeah.
Ew. No.
Yeah. With furries and catgirls.
It was very nice to have you on, Shred. We had a good time chatting with you. Where can the people find you?
You just look up on YouTube, look up Shred Gaming. I haven't posted anything. I may be posting and making more content in the future. So we'll see. We'll see how this next week goes. Some big things are coming up. So I would like to. It was really fun, and I had fun here too. But
thanks a lot.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing too was also like when I was making content, I actually would openly say to some of my friends, I'm like, gosh, I miss playing video games. Because I was spending so much time making content, and I just didn't enjoy it. So I think that was one of the other reasons why I took a break from it too, was because I was like, oh, I'm actually enjoying playing games again. So
That's great.
yeah.
That's sort of with me with MK1. It's like I pick up MK1 because I need to make a video, but then I start playing like 5-6 different games, and I'm like, oh, I enjoy doing this way more.
Yeah, but you can find me on Twitter, Shred Gaming. You can also find me on YouTube, Shred Gaming. Those are probably the only two places that I'm actually like active. I was fairly active on Twitter, so yeah.
All right, sweet. I guess next time it's gonna be like a Christmas episode. Snake's already gotten that readied up and really hyped, as I can see throughout the entire episode over there. Happy early Christmas.
Do you guys say Happy Christmas in the UK or Merry Christmas?
A bit of both.
Okay.
Oh, really? Do you say Happy Christmas? That's
So I remember in Harry Potter they say Happy Christmas, Ron, and I was like, why is he saying happy? Isn't it Merry Christmas?
Well, I think at least back then, I think it was more common to say happy. I think it may have evened out a bit more recently.
Due to social media.
The smelly influence of the Americans.
Take that. We are spreading. The spin-off country is spreading.
Don't bring that back.
Our jargon.
The spin-off country. It's one of our favorites.
We are the Better Call Saul of countries.
America is the cameo system.
You mean you
Hey,
don't
don't
mean
make
that.
me call the French on you.
Ooh. I would do the Homelander. Ooh.
Not Street Fighter. That's what France is. The rival brand.
If we're the cameo system, then the French are the create your own fatality from Armageddon.
Yeah. One of my
nobody like
good
that.
friends. One of my good friends, CK.
Good night, everybody. The episode first.
I'm French, by the way. It's okay. I can
Okay,
say that.
sorry.
I was just gonna say one of my good friends from the UK. We would always joke around and talk, especially during July 4th, and he'd all look at us and be like, because my last name's Thomas, and so he'd say like, "Yeah, you were English too once, Thomas." And I was like, he'd look at everybody and be like, "Shut up, James. You were once English too," you know. But yeah.
I am
Sure,
also
that's fair.
James and English.
There you go.
Very cute. Nice chatting with y'all.
All right.
See you later.